New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriment.
Non-stop feasting and more.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through March 31st. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or ArizonaRenfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every touchdown, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines. Availability is limited. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Auto Pacific segmentation, excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2023 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2023 Nissan Rogue. As shown, Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive, 28 city 34 highway. Actual mileage may vary.
Looking for a gift for your kids or loved ones? Consider getting them something they'll use for the rest of their lives. An education. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today. Contribute just $50 a month, and they'll have nearly $20,000 by graduation. Plus, your money grows tax-free and can be used for college, vocational school, or workforce training. An AZ 529 account will help them unwrap their full potential. Learn more at az529.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Good friend, Radio Pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, well, it was the first Sunday we didn't have NFL, and I'm against it. I just wasn't a fan of that. No, flag football Pro Bowl was never going to cut it, so I didn't even bother to watch that. But, so here I just ended up doing a bunch of stuff around the house, and now that's my future after next Sunday. I installed a doorbell camera because, you know, I just need a reminder how fat and unattractive I am. So when you're sitting there playing with that thing and it's at an up angle at all your chins, and then when you're testing it, it's just like, oh my God, did I look that fat, really? Oh, no. And so, yeah, I just can't believe my wife actually lets me touch her. So, and then, you know, other things I had to do, sealing some leaky things. It was just, you know, nothing but work. And then probably the worst part, ended up watching the Grammys at Wife Point.
That couldn't have been fun.
You know, I'm just sitting there in my head. I'm like, John McCain and me are the same. We are the same as prisoners of war, and torture. I don't know. Anyway, so you know, the only thing that, hey, look at there. There's Billy Joel actually looking worse than me, but he can still bring it. He did his song. He did 2 songs, and he did a pretty good job. So
Wow.
Some new song, which all basically was like, hey, I was gone back. So, okay, whatever. That was basically the song. He's like, I was bound, I was back. Okay, whatever. That was the song. I'm not looking forward to no football is what I'm trying to tell you here.
I mean, I understand it's the saddest time of the year.
And I'm not going to watch the UFL. You can go FUFL yourself. I'm not doing it. Not watching that awful. No. There's information that came out about it if you care. And maybe we'll share that with you later. But yeah, I'm not watching. And there's no Arizona team, which makes it even like, well, who cares?
Yeah, the way they divided the cities and kind of spread everything out, it doesn't make any sense, and it's pretty silly. So, if you want people to get involved, you might want to get the country involved, different parts, different regions of the nation. I don't know. I'm not a business person.
Did you watch the Pro Bowl stuff?
I mean, I didn't sit down and watch anything. It was more like in passing. I was at a friend's house and they had some NFL Network stuff on, and I was at a sports bar, and then I was at a regular bar, like that. So I kind of got bits and pieces of it, but I didn't sit down and watch anything. I don't know what happened.
Randy's having internet issues, by the way. He's trying to get on, but he can't get in, so he's working on it. Yeah, I just listen. I like Peyton Manning. I like Eli Manning. If they want to fight, that's fine, but I didn't want to have to see Gardner Minshew in a Colts helmet. That's just running around, and the AFC lost, so I don't know, doesn't matter.
I didn't even know that.
Doesn't mean anything. Don't care. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Big George says, hey, happy Monday. We're getting a lot of rain here in Southern California. Got my flood protection barriers up. Looks like just duct tape, man. He says, in case the water rises to our back door, which it's gotten close to doing. He says, it's been raining non-stop for the last 16 hours where he's at. He says it continues with no end in sight until Friday. He says, good thing the Super Bowl's not here in Southern California this year. Yeah. So, California's kind of soft, if we're honest. You guys are just kind of soft. Can I tell you how soft California is? I mean, y'all know it's soft. But this is how soft it is. Let me just read you this headline, and you can just say, my God, California is soft. San Mateo County becomes first in the United States to declare loneliness as a health emergency. That is damn soft. That is fluffy cloud soft. That is newborn babies' soft spot in their skull soft. That's how soft that is. That is ridiculously soft. And I get it. We got to look out for people. We got to reach out when people have mental health issues. We have to, say that old lady that lives down there. Maybe she wouldn't be so cranky if you just were nice to her. And hey, how you doing, Gladys? I don't know. I'm not trying to say it's not an issue. I'm not trying to say we shouldn't look out for our fellow human being. But when a county says this is a health emergency, you can just STFU right there. That's soft. No, loneliness is not a health emergency.
Did they give any reasons why they believe
if
it
we're
to be?
Feeling depressed, we often have stomach pains or body aches or muscle aches or headaches, migraines. I mean, you name it, says Dr. Zorbas. Listen, I get it. We want to look out for our fellow man, and we should do more of that. But to declare it a health emergency, I think the kid with cancer wants you to STFU too. I'm pretty sure the guy clutching his heart, falling down with a heart attack, would like you to maybe focus in his direction for just one damn moment instead of calling loneliness a health emergency. We've all been lonely now and then. It's not a health emergency.
Do they have anything that they're going to do about this, or is it just we're just going to declare this a health emergency? Because if you don't have an actual plan, then this is even more useless.
They sent a letter to the governor.
Oh, that'll fix everything. Gavin Newsom, known for his ability to do things correctly.
Yeah, here's what they want. They're like, hey, we need to create a new minister of loneliness position in the state.
Wow.
Oh my God. Really? Okay.
It just seems like that's a problem that could be solved by people going outside.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I think We don't need a loneliness czar, and we don't need to say loneliness is a health emergency. So just saying, George,
it's
you live in a soft state. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I moved out here a couple of years ago. I didn't know anybody. You go out, you try and meet people.
How did you survive?
It takes time, but you make friends. That's how you defeat loneliness, not a minister of loneliness position. What is that person going to actually do to solve your problems?
No idea.
I don't understand.
No idea.
Because I do empathize with people who are lonely, but come on, man.
Somebody just needs another paid position in a government, I guess. That's all I can see there.
Congratulations. There it is.
So you live in a soft state, George. That's all there is to it. 888-368-1580. Oh, boy, lots of text on the text line. Berg says, sealing some leaky things, huh? Yeah, he puts that in quotations. He says, sealing some leaky things. What a way to tune in. And first time I hear right there is sealing some leaky things.
That cannot be the worst thing you've ever just tuned into the Daily Blender and heard. It
true.
Can't be.
Yeah.
It just can't be.
Berg, don't you go soft on me too, man. Cheesehead Bill says, happy Monday, gentlemen. Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I was going to wait a minute before I threw that at Keon.
I don't want to talk about it.
Because it's going to hurt.
I tried to drink it away, and I woke up and it was still real, so.
Did you hate that? When you try to drink something away, you get good and liquored up, you're feeling pretty good, and then you spiral out, and you're thinking, well, okay, this is good, and then you wake up and it's still the same thing.
Yeah, I was nice and drunk enough to actually convince myself that maybe I hadn't read what I thought I read. Mm-hmm. Maybe what was happening wasn't what I thought was happening, and then I sobered up and I woke up this morning, and what I read was very real.
Yeah, it totally
and
happened.
It is totally happening. Yeah,
it's bad and it gets worse, and I'm really sorry, Keon. I am sorry, but that is a fact. Cliff Kingsbury is now the offensive coordinator for his Washington Commandos, and also on top of that, they've hired Joe Witt as a defensive coordinator. And I don't know who the hell he is. Oh, it's Joe Witt Jr., by the way. Don't get him confused with Joe Witt Sr. And I don't know who either of these guys are. Do you know this guy? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, Joe Witt is he was the one of the guys on the staff in Dallas under Dan Quinn.
Oh, so he just drug him along with him, huh?
Secondary coach.
So not only did Quinn say, "See you later, Jerry," and by the way, I'm taking a guy you might have replaced me with.
Yeah.
Fingers in the air. I don't care.
That's how a lot of these staffs get put together. So you bring the people you know, and
they're really probably going to fire him anyway.
I like Joe Witt. I think that he seems like a pretty sharp guy, but the Cliff Kingsbury thing ruins everything else, so it doesn't matter, does it? It's just I don't like Cliff's offense. What
offense? You mean that fictitious air raid offense that he always talks about but never actually has happened?
Yeah, the air raid doesn't really utilize tight ends a whole bunch. Only Cliff used tight ends a lot. Air raid you don't really run the ball all that much. Oh, but Cliff ran the ball a lot. Like, what is your offense? What makes it an air raid as opposed to just anything else? And on top of that, just screen passes for the rest of my life. That's what's sitting before me is screen passes from now until the day he's fired or I die.
Guy's getting slaughtered 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that sounds about like your future, man.
So hopefully they can draft a team that's talented enough to win despite him.
Everybody thinks his being there means Caleb Williams is coming. Everybody's like, oh, they're going to trade up and get Caleb Williams.
That's what I've heard, but I mean, I
don't
know.
Cliff Kingsbury can break him, just like he did Kyler Murray.
And if they don't get Caleb Williams, he can break Jaden Daniels or Drake May. It doesn't matter. I don't know what to do with this information.
You had such high hopes, and then they did this.
Yeah,
this has got to hurt so much.
It hurts a lot. It does, because this is the one I can't rationalize. Like I just think the guy's a bad coach. I'm a little relieved that he's not like a leader of the team.
What made you think he's like, hey, I'm going to be hired for the Raiders? Oh, wait, that Washington Commandos job is open. Oh, I'm going over there. What changed his mind? Just the fact that they were in a better draft position than the Raiders? Hoping I can get somebody who'll cover for how bad I am at my job.
He was halfway to getting hired with the Raiders. I can't imagine what else it would be.
That's what I'm saying.
Now you get to pick your own quarterback, and you're going to be picking from a group of guys that might be talented enough to
He
do
doesn't get to pick.
exactly what he doesn't get to pick, but he's going to have input. And no
I
matter
guess
who
he'll
it
be a
is,
voice in the room. But yeah, like I said, whoever it is going to come in there and be pretty good, and he'll cover for how bad he is, kind of like a year or two of Kyler Murray did for him, kind of like Patrick Mahomes being on the team, even though you ruined him, and so
when he was at Texas
cost him his
A&M,
draft position
as the offensive coordinator, Johnny Manziel running around covered for him
Mhm.
because whatever it is that happened to Johnny in the NFL, in college, Johnny was just ruining people's lives, and there weren't plays with Johnny. Johnny was just making stuff up out there.
You can't get away with that in the NFL.
No.
So, all right. I feel for you, man. I am so sorry. You had such high hope, new owner, new year, new opportunities, and now this.
I can hope that one of two things happens. One, the offense is not as bad as I thought it would be, or two, he's so aggressively bad he just gets fired in 1 year. That would be mercy right there. I could probably live with that.
Then you don't want me to remind you how long he was coach of the Cardinals, then do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get run out of here ever. It just
Do you know off the top of your head? Can you say it off the top of your head?
I mean, I can say it. I just don't.
You know
I don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't want to say it.
4 years.
don't have
I'm
to say
so
it.
sorry. I am so sorry for your loss and all the losses that are coming. You'll have some moments with whatever superstar you get before they break that superstar. But yeah, it's not looking good for your Commandos. I'm so sorry. 888-368-1580. And Pierre is on the text line. Says, hello guys. I'm reporting from the Montreal, where I spoke to my friends at the Montreal School Board, and they agreed to hear about the Randy Snow Bus. Oh, geez. Yeah, Pierre, first he's having some technical issues right now, and I don't think he'll be ready by February 27th with a working model. So, yeah, well, I'll tell him when he finally gets hooked up, but I wouldn't count on anything. Kenry from Jamaica says, hey, fellas, glad to hear y'all today. Honestly, this is definitely the best sports radio or TV show. Only one I listen to. Keep it up, fellas. Oh, thanks, Kenry. Sure appreciate that.
Thanks.
And clearly you have no access to anything else. So, I mean, hell, we'll fill the space for you. But if you want us to be a TV show, we do have a YouTube feed you could watch where all of us are on there most of the time. Randy, he's having issues, but most of the time it's all three of us on here, and sometimes even Ralph. We apologize for that. Moist One says, wow, Cliff Kingsbury in Washington. What a twist. Yes, it was. It was a hell of a twist. And we weren't on the radio this weekend, so I just see these things happening, and I'm like, oh, no.
Can we just tell
that
you,
was me slow motion hoping it wasn't happening to Keon.
He backs out of the Raiders job, and Jeffrey had a little joke about, well, maybe he's going to the Commanders.
I did.
And
I had no idea. I was just kidding.
I knew you were kidding, but normally I just shoot that stuff down. But I said, I got a friend, he covers a team. Let me just text him and see. Cliff Kingsbury's not happening, right? And he said, I haven't heard no.
Oh,
what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean you haven't
It was
heard
like
no?
the Padme meme where Anakin's sitting there with her. What do you mean? You mean no, right? You mean no, right?
He's like, I can't say more than that.
Oh,
I have not heard no. And that's when I knew I was in trouble. Because
yeah, when I saw that and I typed in, well, maybe they'll show up in the with the Commandos. Yeah, I had no idea. I can't tell you how sorry I am, but also how giddy it made me. It's a combination of things.
It was just watching a slow car collision,
Mhm.
just very 15 miles an hour. You could see it, but you can't stop it.
It's like a slow clown car collision, really.
Yeah.
CK says, Jeffrey, rejoice. It's Super Bowl week. Yes, we got through the weekend. We got football this week, the best football we're supposed to ever have in a year. He says, hey, hit me with a foghorn, would you, Keon? I don't know if Keon's got the foghorn.
Yeah, I think Randy's got the foghorn sound effect.
And I see Randy is trying real hard to get hooked up, but I think his internet is betraying him right now. Stupid Cox. Navy Brad says, that lonely czar for California. Yeah. And I bet they get it. I bet they actually do get it. The lonely czar for California will have, bottles of lotion. Is that how that works? That makes sense. Box of Kleenex. I don't know. Pinocchio says, hey, fellas, happy Monday. Early returns on Ralph's maiden voyage Saturday. I slept right through it. I actually listened to it. It was pretty good. Don't tell Ralph I said that. No, I did. I listened to it, and I did text Ralph. I'm like, hey, Ralph, not bad. Show's doing pretty good. Do you pay Neil by the word? Because damn, it just. but no, it was a good show. I actually did. It was good. I can't say it wasn't. I would love to come on here and make fun of it, but. Oh, Randy's connected at least on video now. Let's see if we can get him on the audio. I think he's got it. You got him on the mix minus for me too. Niner Annapolis says, hey, Keon, maybe if you look at the silver lining here, there are some rumors that bringing Cliff in might mean they're going to try to get Caleb Williams. How do you feel about that? I'll tell you how he feels about it. He's happy about that. He doesn't care. He's just like anybody who's a good quarterback would be a change from the last 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in Caleb Williams too. I like the guy. I like his game. I think that there's a lot of things that he can come into the league right away and do. I just don't know why I need to have Cliff with him. What I don't get, if you want Caleb Williams and you've got the assets to trade up to number 1 and go get him, just do that. What do you need Cliff for? I'm trying to understand how that makes that work. It doesn't in my head.
Can I just tell you, the minute I saw Dan Quinn was going to be your coach, I kind of had a feeling it was going to go this way. I just, it didn't take a psychic.
Yeah, but the Cliff Kingsbury, because Dan Quinn is the guy that hired Kyle Shanahan to be his offensive coordinator before he was Kyle we know now, going to his second Super Bowl. So it's not like Dan Quinn can't hire people. This makes no sense.
All right, listen, we've got a crap ton of text sitting here on the text line, and Randy's, he's certainly trying to get on here. If we can't get him this way, maybe we can get him through a Zoom call on the other computer so he can at least talk with us. We could do that. We could try that. He's having a problem for some reason with his equipment. With his equipment.
I almost thought he heard you there with the way he looked at
I'm just glad he didn't hear that. Yeah. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Free air-chilled boneless chicken breasts and 4 juicy boneless pork chops with your order. omahasteaks.com/vsin. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns return to action on Tuesday night, hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. Phoenix is coming off a 140-112 victory on Sunday in Washington against the Wizards, which wrapped up a 7-game road trip in which they went 4-3. Bradley Beal had 43 points in the win for Phoenix. The Suns are plus 1,600 to win the NBA championship and plus 750 to capture the Western Conference. Tonight, the Lakers are in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. LA 12.5-point favorite, minus 700. Charlotte plus 500, over under 227. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Okay, so Randy is not going to be on video, but we're working on getting an audio feed for him right now. And, it's a radio show first, so you don't get to see Randy. I bring enough sexy, I think, for the show on the video. So, but Randy will be with us here in a moment. 888-368-1580. We are very behind on the text line, so let me see if I can get us caught up at least a little bit. Prison Wallet says, hey, could be worse. He could have been named head coach. Oh, that's right. That's a good point.
Yeah, that just was never going to happen. So.
Yeah, that would. Never thought he'd be an offensive coordinator. I mean, that's like half a coach right there. That's doing the dirty work, and that's the part that's very, very important. No, he's in a position way higher than you would have ever wanted or expected. But at least he's not the head coach. I don't feel that much better about it.
because they were looking for somebody who's a strong leader, and like just by all accounts, that's not Cliff. That's the only reason why I don't think it was ever going to be Cliff. But yeah, it's not like his X's and O's were stunning anybody, so I don't understand how we got here.
I have no idea. Fish Tank says, I'm going to start wearing skinny jeans if that is all it takes. I know, right? Just wear some skinny jeans and some old style Ray-Ban sunglasses, and there you go. Hey, Randy is trying to hook up on this computer with video for some reason. I think he's responding to the wrong invite. So
yeah, let me try.
Ralph from Harmon Solar is here to give you a hard time. Yeah, he says Keon, he was kind of sort of a good offensive coordinator. Maybe he can do a good job. Maybe.
Where?
You know damn well that's not true.
Where was he a good offensive coordinator? USC?
Not for USC. USC was hot garbage. You should know that.
And this was statistically Caleb's worst year.
Is Randy trying to call us on like a regular phone or
something?
Yeah,
I sent him an invite.
Yeah, we see that. We see that, Randy. Well, put him on the phone. Let's see what he's trying to do here. I don't know. Don't know what he's doing. Randy.
Good afternoon, Randy White here.
What's the deal? You were supposed to get up on that Zoom call over there.
Good afternoon, Randy White here. We're in a like an emergency weather situation here.
There's no weather at all today. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's an emergency weather situation. You might notice that it's cloudy outside.
There's a couple of clouds, but it's not a big deal.
Emergency weather situation.
Okay. Well, I know there's a weather like an atmospheric river in California, but here there's nothing going on. I'm looking at the radar right now.
There might be an atmospheric river in California, but there's a damn atmospheric ocean here in Arizona, and we're trying to overcome this here.
Show me on the radar map right here where it is.
Service.
You see the radar map on?
I'm actually at the National Weather Service right now. I know exactly what's going on.
Randy, you're on the video for some reason, and we can see you sitting in your house. So
no, this is not my house. This is the National Weather Service. I'm in a secret room at the National Weather Service. You can't see me.
We can completely see you and Cecil.
And we've been to your house. That's your house.
No, I'm sorry. That's impossible. Cecil is not here. Cecil is not here. And I'm in a emergency room, a top secret emergency room, because we've got a national weather emergency.
I don't think anybody's going to buy this, but so when are you going to have your equipment going or get on the Zoom call thing?
I don't know. Listen, I can't. Listen, everything else is working except this piece of equipment from, CRC Broadcasting. I don't know what the problem is here, but I'm efforting here at the National Weather Service to try to make sure that everything is going to be okay. Everybody calm down.
I have an idea.
Everything is going to be okay.
No, we're all calm. We're
good.
Yep. So here's the idea. All right, you got your camera on. We can see you.
No, you can't see me.
Okay.
I don't have my camera on. No,
but we 100% can.
How about this? Keon will send you an invite, but you open up Zoom on your phone and you use that. That way you plug your charger in and you get your earpiece or whatever, and then we just talk to you that way. That's kind of how we do it with Rosalie when she's on.
Here at the Weather Center, at the National Weather Center, we don't have earpieces.
Codpiece? I don't know what you're going to use, but I'm just trying to get you on the damn show, man. Just trying to get you on the damn show.
Yeah. I just thought I would let you know. I'm at the. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. And everybody remain calm. It's going to be okay. All the waves that you see, all the tidal waves, all the fish that you see in your driveway, it's all going to be okay. Everybody just relax.
Nothing happening here right now. Zero rain at all. So,
well, good for you, Jeffrey. Remaining calm. Good for you. How's Keon? Is he okay? He's not freaking out, is he?
You can see him right there.
We are all on the video Zoom together.
Are we? No, it's impossible. I can't be on the video.
I'm looking at you right now. Right now.
Hunched over your computer.
I'm in the top secret bunker for the National Weather Service. There's no way you can see me right now.
Spare room in your house, and you got whiskey bar sign behind you, and a Diamondbacks flag, and a Cardinals thing.
There's no such thing.
Number 15 car thing. And I see bobbleheads on the shelf back there. I see your tactical vest.
No.
I see a tail wagging. I know that's Cecil. Nobody's buying this crap, Randy.
Cecil. That's not. I'm in a bunker. I'm sorry. But we're starting to break up. We're starting to break up.
He's just trying to get the afternoon
I can't
off.
really hear you.
I feel like you're just trying to get the afternoon off.
Nobody said that. I'm in a national weather emergency.
No. All right. Well, what do you want to do here? All right. What are you going to do? Are we going to do the show here or what?
Everybody remain calm.
Okay. We should hang up on him, I think. We're getting nowhere here. So what are you going to do? You figure it out. Let us know. Are you going to be on the show or not?
Well, listen, I have some high scientific equipment here I'm bringing in, and I will try to join the show shortly. But everybody remain calm. Pay no attention to the tidal waves that are going down your street. Everything is okay.
It's a big barrel of disinformation right there. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to wait and see about getting Randy on. I'm going to go back to the text line.
Okay, all right. Listen, guys, I have to go. General
Bullcrap.
Cooper. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. General Cooper is calling me, and it might be General Tillamook. I have to go.
Okay.
But I will. Everybody remain calm.
Thank you, Randy. Okay. We're calm.
Yep. I'll check in again.
Okay. All right.
Bye. From the Weather Center, Randy White checking out. Bye.
Yep. I feel like we're just getting hosed on this deal. I don't think there's anything wrong at all. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, Mr. Wilbur says I can hear Keon singing his song. I'll just drink enough till she looks good to me, and in the morning I'll be sorry that I drank it. Waking up where I did not intend to be, between the sheets with a pig and a blanket. I have no idea what song that is or where that's from.
I'm not familiar with that song either. Don't know what to tell you. I can't drink enough to make this team look good to me. I've tried.
By the way, he wants to know, did you earlier say that you should go out and play in the freeway if you're lonely?
I didn't say that, no. I said you should go out.
I kind of took that away from it, too.
And meet people. I sure hope that no one goes and plays in the freeway. Go out. Go, like, there's websites that are dedicated to, small groups of various interests. You can go on those, try and join a group of people, meet them, see if you like them. If you do, try and make some friends. I don't know.
Berg says, hey, Keon, I'll make it better for you. Your new head coach, Dan Quinn, mastermind of the defense that lost the Super Bowl on this date when they were up 28-3. That was February 5th. On this date, glorious.
Dan Quinn, as a head coach, has won more playoff games in the 4 years he was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons than the Washington football team in any form has won in the last 25 years.
He might get you there, but
then I'll deal with the disappointment, and you can fire him after that and see if you can build on that with a better coach later. But getting there's not bad. I'm sorry.
Last Optimist says, on the Cliff Dingleberry front, I'm looking forward to the Washington salary offsetting what the Cardinals owe him, so we can complain that they aren't putting that money back in the team facilities. That sounds reasonable. That does sound like a reasonable outcome. Oaktown Destroyer says, whoo, I'm glad that Kingsbury's not going to be the Raiders offensive coordinator. Oh my God, with his goofy offense.
I'm so conflicted because I'm happy for Raiders fans that they dodged that bullet.
They
But
needed
the bullet,
to dodge the bullet more than you did, I think.
the bullet hit well. Yeah, at least where they're drafting and the amount of cap space that they have, they could probably put together like a decent roster. Where the Raiders are going to probably need to figure out quarterback in a different way because or give up a lot to trade up and get a guy, which I wouldn't advise if we look at the Panthers.
Average Joe says, Keon's going to have the pleasure of Cliff's amazing offense in Washington. Did you know Caleb Williams threw for 900 less yards and 12 less touchdowns last year right after Cliff got there?
I did know that.
My goodness.
I was aware of that. Why are you doing this to me, Average Joe?
Hamilton Porter says, wow, Cliff backed out of a job, an actual, like they were going to hire him kind of job for a better one after accepting the offer. Where have we seen this before? Oh, I know where we've seen this before. And that was Josh McDaniels. And so Raiders, count yourself lucky. Thing is, we didn't know how bad Josh McDaniels was going to be. He had been a coach with the Denver Broncos for a bit. And then, he sucked. But then he went and he was offensive coordinator and had success with Bill Belichick. And everybody thought, well, young coach, maybe he just, he needs a damn minute, right? Maybe he needs to sort this out. And, he's learned and boy, he's going to be a good coach now. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to go be the Colts coach. And the Colts are like, come on, be the coach. And then Robert Kraft put a bag of money on his desk and says, no, you better stay here. And Josh McDaniels screwed over the Colts. And of course, that worked out better for us than it would have with him, as you now know, having seen him coach the Raiders. And so, yes, we've seen this exact same thing before, except for you already know Cliff Kingsbury is a bad coach. You already know you have no business hiring that guy. At the moment, the Colts at least can say, well, we thought maybe that time with Bill Belichick and he got better at it. No, he didn't. Thank God we dodged that bullet. And Raiders, you just dodged the Cliff Kingsbury bullet.
And
except for Keon took it for you.
Yeah, unintentionally. I feel like it's sort of like an Emperor's New Clothes kind of thing where just I keep reading all of this stuff about how well respected Cliff's offenses were when he was here, and I was like, that did not happen. That did not happen.
You know what it was? Is they did go on a couple of runs of a lot of wins and then fall apart kind of stuff. But then, that wasn't his offense. That was improvisation by Kyler Murray.
Yeah. If you put another human being in that offense, it's hard to say that they'd have any success at all. Maybe like a less mobile guy that's pretty good. Like if you took Jared Goff and put him in a Cliff Kingsbury offense, that thing doesn't work.
Yep.
And that's not because Jared can't play. Obviously he can. It's because that offense kind of needs you to kind of make stuff up to fill in the parts of it that don't work.
Walter Mellon says, hey, Keon, one plus side is Kingsbury won't be coaching the whole team. So he'll be really able to focus on that air raid offense for you and the Commandos.
If we ever see it.
Yeah, you'll never see it.
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's not happening.
Pull the plug says, get California to hire Kingsbury for the czar position, the lonely czar.
If it means he'll leave.
Yeah.
I'll be on board with that. Yeah.
California might actually pay him that much. CK says, Keon, rejoice. You'll be fine with Dingleberry. You'll see the problem in Arizona was too much responsibility. And as a head coach, you had trash can Willow as a quarterback.
That's the only thing I've got going for me is, well, he has less to do. He can screw up my team less. That's not positivity. That's not something to look forward to. Is at least he won't screw up my team as badly as the last NFL team he was involved with.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, you can't break it because it's already broken. Pineapple Express says, hey, guys, I did listen to Ralph's new show on Saturday, and it wasn't bad. I'll give it another week. Prairie Home Companions, just a bunch of reruns nowadays anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garrison Keillor died, didn't he?
Yeah, I also think Prairie Home Companions, you could find it like as a podcast every week. They put the reruns out with the show, so you could just listen to that whenever. And then...
Oh yeah, and by the way, old Ralph and his Weekend Warriors there. That's available in podcast form at 1580thefanatic.com. You just go to the listen on demand, scroll to the bottom of the page. That's not like a reference to how bad the show is. That's just where he ended up in the scroll. So bottom page, Weekend Warriors.
It's alphabetical, isn't
it? No.
No? Okay.
Not on purpose.
It's just if you're Weekend Warriors, the W puts you.
We got Jim Rome. We got the morning shows on there. Then Jim Rome is on there. Then we're on there. So it's actually in chronological order.
Oh.
And because the Weekend Warrior is on Saturday, then that's why it's there. So I think Randy, who, by the way, I don't know what he's been doing this entire time on the camera. He gave us the thumbs up. I don't know if that's the sarcastic thumbs up or if he's actually hooked up to our audio. I don't know. I mean, I had a great idea for him and he just completely ignored it. So we'll see what happens. Haruto says, hello, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Rose. Does the 5-day penalty apply? I've been suspended for 5 days because of my bad joke. Oh, no, dude. We never said 5 days, like 5 minutes if it's really bad. It's 2 minutes generally if it's a pun, 5-minute penalty if it's just really bad. I don't remember what your joke was back then when you get. Do you? I don't remember.
I don't remember what it is. And usually if you wait a commercial break and come back, we've already forgotten what happened.
Yeah. Very short attention span, Haruto. And by the way, it's February 5th. We last heard from him January 31st. So it sounds like he took it to heart.
He's like, oh no, 5 day. No, 5 minutes, Haruto. 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're not doing that to people for days, Haruto. Oh my God. Manitoban Moose says, good day, fine sirs. Greetings from Manitoba, Canada. Did you catch that NHL All-Star game on Saturday? Scottsdale, Arizona native Austin Matthews was the MVP. Yeah. I was watching some of that skills competition stuff too, and that was a lot of fun. So Randy just gave another emphatic thumbs up.
That one felt very sarcastic,
and then disappeared. So I think he's going to need a little more time. So that was awesome, Manitoban Moose. Pierre says, I am sad to learn that Randy's equipment is not working properly. I had to take Viagra to get my equipment working again myself, and my wife, she could not be happier. Let Randy know his Snowbus idea is to be implemented. Yes, well, I'm sure eventually you get to talk about it. Donnie says, hey, are you guys going to be out at the Waste Management Phoenix Open thing? Nope. Nope. Can I just say that, there's only a couple of times in your life that you need to have a million drunk people stampeding through your broadcast area before you're like, I think I'm good. You can get me into a little safer location maybe, but that was insanity. Like a couple of years in a row, they're right there, first thing in the morning, you hear the rumble and people are running through, breaking signs and breaking equipment and just running past you it's like Pamplona in there, man. So, gonna pass on that. I mean, we might go there again in the future. I know Radio Ron's going to go hang out at the Phoenix Open. You might find him walking around. But no, we're not going to be broadcasting from there this year. They kind of changed the entire area. That area where we used to broadcast, they turned that into a sports book. That's where the DraftKings sports book is. So we might go there someday, but I don't know. We're just gonna chill here. And also to answer everybody's question, no, we're not going to be on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. I've never done Radio Row. I have no interest in doing Radio Row, and here's why: it's fun to talk to celebrities. Absolutely right. It's fun to talk to interesting people. Absolutely. Fun to talk to the athletes. Fun to talk to the guys who are actually playing in the Super Bowl. All fantastic. What I don't like is every one of these sons of bitches shows up and they have a giant thing to plug that has nothing to do with the Super Bowl and has nothing to do with the questions you're going to ask them. And I am not going to let them turn this show into a horror of the week. You know what I mean? Just not going to do it.
And there's like the part of it where you're like, do we just get that part of it out of the way first?
Right.
Or do you
boring.
save it till the end? But if you save it till the end and you don't leave enough time, then they're mad at you. Look, it's not worth it.
Hey, look, it's Troy Aikman. Oh, he wants to talk to me about some beer that tastes like ass. Okay, go ahead. Do that for 5 minutes and I'll get like 30 seconds of you making fun of Joe Buck. It's not worth it. There's any number of people who are going to come through there and, here's this guy. Oh, I can't remember who. Oh, remember he had Urlacher on once. And he's like, hey, how about that beef jerky? What? How about them pork rinds? What? Okay, whatever, man. I don't need to have sponsored interviews. I don't find that interesting personally. So yeah. So no to the Open, no to Radio Row. Yes to you guys. We're going to keep doing what we do with you guys because you're way more interesting to me than those guys. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every touchdown, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and you'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
The IRS is ramping up collection, and if you owe back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, listen carefully. Before it's too late, check your eligibility for the Fresh Start program still offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problems. Call our special hotline number now and find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. Business or personal, if you're in a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to know your options, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop collections immediately. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau with a 5-star rating from Yelp, this veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. Call their hotline number now, 800-819-1120. That's 800-819-1120. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-819-1120 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat what's online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of 100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of 200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of 300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's almost time for Arizona voters to pick their candidate for president. If you want to vote in the presidential preference election on March 19th, the law requires you to be a registered member with one of the recognized political parties participating in this election. This year, the Republican Party and Democratic Party are holding a presidential preference election. Get all the election dates and details at arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. On Saturday, we got Baylor at Kansas, and then right after that, we got GCU at Utah Valley for your college basketball. And what were you trying to tell me there? We had Randy on the thing, and then we don't have Randy on the thing?
I think we got him now. Maybe.
We've done this with like so many people. Why is this a problem here?
Well, because he doesn't realize that this is not like being on the tie line. I can't talk down the line to him. So he's saying hello during the break.
Hello?
Yeah.
I can't say anything back.
Randy, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Oh my God! It's a weather emergency.
Oh, you're so full of crap. Just knock it
What?
off. You're on the radio with us now. So
What are you talking about? It's a weather emergency from the National Weather Service. Oh my God! Torrential downpours.
where? There's nothing happening here.
Maybe even some clouds. There might be some clouds. and rain. Oh God, the highways are going to be destroyed. Everybody just remain calm.
I think you're just too lazy to get up and reset your internet so you can get the damn tie line working. Randy
Whoa.
White, he's the guy who watched a documentary about a guy who pushed himself 3,100 miles across the United States in a wheelchair because his remote was at the other end of the couch. Smell that irony. So forgive me, Randy, if I don't believe you.
It could be more detrimental. Keep your dogs and your kittens and cover your flowers. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Oily Stool says the only general I heard in that report from Randy was General BS. Yeah, kind of feel that now. Kind of feel that too.
I thank you very much. I can't really hear what you're saying here at the National Weather Service. I'm in a secure concrete bunker. Nothing can hurt me, and everything is going to be okay.
Quiet Cannon says, that exchange with Randy reminds me of the War of the Worlds. Is Randy going to be okay? He might be having withdrawals because of only one football game left. It was a rough weekend.
Everything's okay. Don't worry for me. Take care of your families and cover your plants. Cover your young plants. Cover all those sucklings.
Sorry. Okay. So by the way, Fish Tank mentioned, wow, I guess wearing skinny jeans is all it takes to get a job. And so does nepotism a little bit. And, I know, Keon, you've mentioned some nepotism. Who was it that got hired? Jim Harbaugh's
Jay Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh's
son got a job someplace. Well, guess who else got a job? Only I'm surprised. I thought Steve Belichick was going to hang around with the Patriots because they didn't fire him, but he has left them. He has agreed to become the University of Washington's defensive coordinator. Is the University of Washington a good school?
Washington. Washington.
University of Washington.
Yeah. That is
You mean the Huskies?
That's
Huskies
the very
are
same
really
Washington.
needed. Yeah. They're
He's-
great rescue dogs, Jeffrey.
Well, they hired Jed Fish, so I'm suspect on how good they are.
Well, Jed Fish. I mean, we saw what he did at Arizona. I mean,
and the coach of University of Washington went to Bama, but see now that's no longer going to be a good school. So I guess that getting Steve Belichick to be defensive coordinator is like a flashy hire for them, right?
I mean, I don't know that Washington is not going to be good any longer. I can't say that with absolute
Jed Fish is
certainty.
there, so
Well, Jed Fish is a good coach, though.
no, he's not.
Jed Fish did.
He's a fraud.
Performed a miracle at Arizona, and that's the reason why we're happy
Stink of
he's
U of
gone.
A all over him.
A lot of
Keon.
stink
You
on
know
him,
he
Keon.
does. A lot of stink on him.
Even then, he managed to win games there.
I feel like I've got to yell because I'm inside this concrete bunker. He's got a
Randy,
lot of stink on him.
Randy, you don't need to yell.
What? Hello?
Keon, you've got enough volume from Randy, right? We're good there,
I've got plenty. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Randy, you don't need to yell. It's okay.
Hello?
All right. Anyway, so crazy lips and tongue Steve Belichick no longer in the NFL. He's now with Jed Fish. By the way, Randy, it's good to have you with us here on National Fart Day. Today is National Fart Day. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Hello, did you know, Jeffrey? Today's National Fart Day. I don't know
Yes.
if you can hear me or not.
But it's also, and I'm not making this up, and it really, it's National Weather Person's Day. It actually is National Weather Person's Day.
Well, listen, I want to give honor and praise to all those weather people out there, all those weather veterans out there. And maybe someday I could aspire, to get somebody to say Happy National Weather Person Day to me.
I will say Happy National Weather Person Day to you, and I will declare you a legit weather person if you tell me in 10 seconds who the most famous pioneer of weather in the United States is.
Dave Muncy.
No, that's Arizona.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're wrong. It's actually John Jeffries from 1744.
That's what I said. Jim Jeffries from Channel 3. That's
John
what I said.
Jeffries from 1744.
That's
Andy. There was
exactly
no
what
TV.
I said.
There's
Channel
no,
17, John Jeffries. That's what I said.
You're a horrible fraud. So it's National Weather Person's Day, but it's also National Fart Day, just so you know.
May the bird of paradise fart right up your nose.
Okay. 888-368-1580. But it's a real day. It's not a federal holiday, unfortunately. But
Jeffrey, it should be a federal holiday. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I'm inside the bunker.
Yeah, we're going under a bridge. Just hang up on him. You just, oh geez, what's going? Is he gone?
I don't think so.
What? You didn't take my cue. I said hang up on him. You didn't listen.
Don't try to hang up on me, Jeffrey. I know your tricks.
Oh well.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we sure can. Very, very well.
We'll let you know when we have weather questions. Wilbur says, I bet Cliff Kingsbury's hot girlfriend is very glad that he's going commando. Yeah, I doubt it. Fifth letter says Raiders dodge Cliff, but now, says fifth letter, but now want to sign Getsy from Chicago. Bears offense been garbage the last 2 or 3 years, and they're going to go after Fields? Come on. Keon, thoughts on Justin Fields in a Raiders uniform?
I mean, the uniform to me is not necessarily the point. It's does he have the weapons around him? And is there an offense there that can try and tap into what he's good at? I wouldn't try to put him back with Luke Getsy. I'm trying to figure out if there's something there to Justin Fields. I want him in an offense that's maybe more tailored to him. I don't think Luke Getsy did a very good job of that.
Can you guys all just take a moment and realize that just because a coach or a coordinator or whoever goes from one place to another doesn't mean that their guy or their quarterback or this player or that defense or that off is coming with them. It doesn't always mean that. Cliff Kingsbury is an idiot. He has one speed. So yeah, that does mean that. I'm sorry. But just because Getsy's coming from Chicago doesn't mean he's like, they're doing this because they're bringing Justin Fields. They can see just as well as anyone else. Hey, guess what? That crap over there didn't work. For whatever reason. Maybe Getsy has convinced them it was Justin Fields wasn't good enough, but you guys got a guy I can work with, or we're going to get a guy we can work with. And he's, talked him into it. But Getsy going to the Raiders doesn't mean that they're looking to trade and bring in Justin Fields.
I agree. It's not, it can happen because a lot of coaches like to bring guys that already run their offense. So you have somebody who's already familiar. You don't have to start from scratch with a new quarterback who may not know all the terminology and all of that stuff. But still, that's still not necessarily the case. Yeah.
Let's see here. Booze and Raider says, "Hey John, thanks for taking our trash. I can breathe again." John, being the owner of the Commandos, is that what he's talking about? Who's John?
I don't know who's John. The owner of the Commandos is Josh.
Oh, I think he meant Josh.
Oh,
he must have meant Josh.
Hey, guys, did you know that Keon? Did you know that Cliff Kingsbury's actually your offensive coordinator now?
Yeah, I try to forget every second of the day.
Randy, again, you don't have to yell. You're on a microphone.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we totally can.
We can hear you. You can just talk.
I'm sorry, Keon. Listen, we're in a weather emergency here. I don't know what you guys can hear.
For you to state that is, I think that might be criminal.
Did you know there's like some sort of theoretical river flowing through California?
Atmospheric river, Randy.
Yeah, see what I said?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I meant. Yeah, and
okay.
there's a damn ocean headed for Arizona. Hey, everybody remain calm.
Fish Tank says, that YouTube feed has been particularly entertaining with Randy popping in and petting Cecil and then smiling with thumbs up at the camera, yet never actually getting on there.
That's old footage. That's old footage. I'm actually at the NWS. I'm not actually here at in my office.
Niner Annapolis says Randy should take it easy with National Fart Day, locked up in that concrete bunker of his. Maybe mix that terrible weather with it. That's a bad combination he's got going.
You got to be careful out there, everybody. It's going to get crazy. Waves, 7 to 10 foot swells. Get your surfboards. It's going to be fun.
Walter Mellon says, I love the short sigh coming from Jeffrey with Randy Bean in a bunker and yelling hello. Reminds me when I used to push my dad's buttons as a kid, minus the backhand that would follow. Oh, I do have a strong backhand. He
really does.
Yeah, a lot of miles away right now. So All right, guys. We're going to take a break. Hour 1 is over, and 2 is coming up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hello?
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
2 yards should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
What in? The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best teed up at the 2024 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 5th through 11th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more, up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD
Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time for what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. It's just another face in the crowd. Text in says, yeah, it's National Fart Day and National Weather Person's Day. What a coincidence. Hot air and people full of hot air. Yeah. I mean, not all weather people are full of hot air, just another face in the crowd. Big George says, all right, so I can explain Randy's odd behavior. Well, Randy's here. He could probably explain it himself. Randy, could you explain your odd behavior?
Hello? Can
Yeah.
you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can probably explain my odd behavior.
Okay, and then maybe we don't do that anymore. But go ahead.
Okay.
What is your? Well, here's what George says. George claims you're broadcasting from his house in rainy and flooding Southern California, where there's an atmospheric river streaming right into his house as we speak.
You know, many people might think that I'm in the middle of Carlsbad, where Big George lived, but I'm not. I'm here in Phoenix, and I'm telling you, the impending doom is serious, and I think everybody needs to go to their local Dick's Sporting Goods or Shields and get yourself a boogie board and or one of those surfboards and be ready.
Let's just leave Dick's out of this because I'm sure there's other places, that they can go if they need anything. But I just checked the weather. Nothing's happening. We're good.
There'll be a lot of rain tomorrow, Jeffrey. A lot of rain. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Over the torrent of all the atmospheric conditions going on. I'm in a bunker right now. So if you can't hear me, blink twice.
Well, you're not on the camera anymore, so it doesn't matter. Listen, let's go ahead and talk about what happened over the weekend. The GCU beat Utah Valley Wolverines 86-67. That's kind of expected, right, Keon?
Yeah, they've beaten up Utah Valley before. They've done it again. Utah Valley's not very good, and GCU is trying to get themselves back on track after a couple of close games from a week ago.
Yeah, and then the next Saturday they got Southern Utah, and then they play a lot of Mormons. They got like 3 Utah schools that they end up playing.
Yeah, those are all the conference. Those are all the teams in conference. So that's just kind of the way it works out. Yeah,
part of the WAC. So, anyways, I guess it was a nice night for Rayshawn Harrison with 21 points, and Gabe McLaughlin hanging in there doing his thing as he does with 17 points, and it was just a standard GCU game where they beat down some Mormon kids.
Yeah, that's because it's weird because we've got I think 3 Utah schools in the conference. So yeah, you play them a lot, and if you play them 2 times a year, then every time you look at the schedule, you're like, wow, playing a Utah school again. Okay,
you're exactly right, Keon. Tomorrow rain, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all
Keon
rain.
Didn't say a damn thing about rain, Randy.
You're exactly right. Good job, Keon, and Jeffrey. Thank you.
So moving on, we can talk about the Phoenix Suns beating the Washington Wizards by a lot. Sorry, Keon, this is not really your day, is it? First, it's Cliff Kingsbury as a coordinator, and then next, it's the Washington Wizards getting a normal beatdown from the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, I'm not sad about that. I mean, the team's won 9 games all year. This is not a surprise. Also, that's kind of what they're supposed to be doing. This is a tank year, just a full-on tank year. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Beal had 43 points, and that was just it was all Phoenix all the time. The entire
You're right,
game.
Jeffrey. 63% tomorrow. Right.
I think we need to hang up on Randy. I feel like we should not
just go ahead and let it.
I don't think he's hearing us very well. Oily Stool says they should rename the WAC. Okay. What should they rename it to, Oily Stool? And keep in mind, isn't Oily Stool Canadian? I don't know if we need to be listening to a Canadian about
Oily
this.
Stool, you're an Edmonton Oilers fan.
He says, no, call the WAC the MAC. Call them the Mormon Athletic Conference.
The thing is, there already is a MAC.
Really?
Yeah.
They're a Mormon Athletic Conference?
It's not Mormon, unfortunately. That would be the stuff the dreams are made of. But no, it's not. It's what's the acronym for the conference again?
Well, all I know is GCU owns the WAC.
The Mid-American Conference, the MAC.
Okay. All right. Well, but Oily Stool, it's okay. They don't need a conference. So back to the Suns. They're going to play Milwaukee tomorrow night. Now, with the Washington Wizards, you expect them to beat the 140-112. You expect that of the Suns. I'm not sure what to expect when they play with the Bucks on Tuesday. Are the Bucks fully formed right now, or are they still having issues? Because there was a minute where they were like, hey, we're great. And then their coach got fired because they weren't great. Have they recovered? Is the Milwaukee Bucks a team that Phoenix is looking to have problems with, or is this like another fun beatdown for the Suns?
No, I think the Bucks are still trying to figure out what they are. They've had ups and downs, and they're coming off of a loss to the Utah Jazz yesterday. Not good. They did not look very good. They were able to beat Dallas, but the game before, dropped one to Portland. So it actually feels like they're sort of where the Suns are, where you can tell the roster has talent. They're supposed to be better than they are, but they're still dropping games here and there to teams that they should just be beating into the ground. So I think that this is a matchup where the Suns, I think, have to come out and win it just because, to prove that you're at least the less streaky team of the two, and have some momentum of your own to build on. But yeah, it's hard to figure out what to make of the Bucks because they are so good when they're playing well, but they're so inconsistent that you don't know what night that is.
Well, let's hope it's not Tuesday night. I'll be fine with that. And the Phoenix Suns now have 29 wins and 21 losses on the season. So, they're doing all right. They're doing, better than the Lakers. Oh, my God, the Lakers stink. Hey, by the way, there's these rumors going around that LeBron James might be traded. Now, LeBron has said, no, there's nothing like that's happening. The Lakers have said, no, nothing like that is happening. So where are these rumors coming from?
Honestly, I think that it's a lot of times this information gets out and it's teams who have called and said, hey, we're interested. And then they allow that news to leak to see kind of how it goes over, to see if the Lakers go out and immediately deny it, well, then maybe you didn't have as much a shot at getting LeBron as you potentially thought. LeBron, I don't think wants to leave LA. Bronny's there playing at USC. He's got a bunch of other business stuff that he's doing over there. So I don't think he wants to necessarily.
Does he have no trade clause?
I would be stunned if he didn't. I don't know off the top of my head.
Because is there a chance the Lakers are like, maybe we should trade him? Maybe they're thinking it. Maybe they're quietly talking to people and it's getting leaked out.
I would be shocked if they weren't thinking it a little, just because what you could get for LeBron would start to put you in a path of, let's get ready for the future. If we don't think that we're a title team now, let's start moving in another direction. Why wait for everything to fall apart? It's just not how they've operated in the past. When they have players that they consider that they're to be great, they generally don't move on from those guys. But this is new management from the past too.
Ralph from Harmon Solar says Lakers are beating good teams, unlike the Suns, and are only 4 behind them. So please. Oh, the Lakers are hot garbage. And here's the thing. The Suns, had, some time where they had to adjust with Beal and also were without a player or two in certain situations. And now the cylinders start firing again. They will pull away from the Lakers. So I wouldn't brag on your Lakers too much right now, Ralph. 888-368-1580.
The beating good teams is a little bold of a claim.
Well, for him, the Lakers, every team is a good team because they're better than them.
They beat the Knicks and they beat the Celtics, but then, you drop to the Hawks. You lose to the Rockets, who are a solid team. It's not like the Rockets are horrible this year.
Oh, they used to be.
But still, if you're beating good teams, you ought to beat the Rockets. Would I say that the Warriors are good currently? No, not really. They're behind you in the conference or in the division. So yeah, no, I wouldn't blow up what the Lakers are doing too much.
Donnie says, where's the talk on the best NBA team in the West? Oh, the Utah Jazz. Is that who it is?
It's the Timberwolves. They've got the best record.
You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to give Donnie that. You could have just left it where I left it.
Yeah, but when you said Jazz, I'm like, well, we can't even pretend. Might have gotten away with an Oklahoma City. I didn't. Boy,
I don't have the standings in front of me, but the Jazz
the always a little bit.
But are the Jazz not good this year? I don't have it in front of me here.
No, the Jazz are awful.
Oh,
no.
Crap.
They're like 500. They've
been great in the past. Well, damn it,
they were better last year, but they made some moves and traded some people, and some of the guys they brought back to try and run it back from last year just kind of had dips in their production. So now here we are.
No, the Thunder are better than the Timberwolves. In fact, the Thunder are in first place right now.
Well, they're tied.
Well, no, but they're right there in first place. So they have won some other tiebreaker because O comes after M. So if it's alphabetical order, then the Minnesota Timberwolves would be in first place. So there's some other factor that it has an effect on this that makes OKC number 1 and the Timberwolves 2. Wow. The Clippers are in third place.
Yeah, the Clippers figured their stuff out, man. That's a scary team.
Oh, yeah, there's the Denver Nuggets. I was thinking the Denver Nuggets. Wait, yeah, when I said Utah Jazz,
Yeah.
that's my bad. I was thinking about Denver. So Phoenix is right there at number 6. Oh, look, way down there at number 9, it's Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah. Don't worry, Ralph. We're going to pull away. You know it's going to happen. Henry says, yeah, tell Ralph no more Solar podcast. He's doing more harm than good for Solar. Get it? Yeah, you did that joke last week. And Ralph kind of liked it. Harmon Solar. He kind of liked it. So anyway, so by the way, how are the Warriors doing? They're just are they just floating in the out in the outer space there? They're down there a ways.
Yeah, the short answer is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see, it's not Steph Curry's fault. He had 60 points the other night.
Yeah, you can't blame him. I think it's pretty clear that Steph is the only thing that's close to keeping this team floating.
Yeah, CBS was looking at this and seeing like, oh, look at Steph Curry with his 60 points. And they're like, there seems to be a lot of that lately. And CBS was like, yeah, you got Joel Embiid with that 70, Karl Anthony Towns with 62 on the same night. A couple days later, you got Luka Doncic with 73, Devin Booker with 62. Now Curry's got 60, and he's like, there's a lot of 60s. Then you got Giannis Antetokounmpo's 64 back in December, and he said that's 66-point games. And so Lillard and Mitchell went for 71, and they're just like, okay, so has scoring gotten too easy in the NBA? That's what CBS is looking at with this. They see this, and they're like, yeah, because some of these guys are getting 60 and their teams aren't even winning. Devin Booker had over 60 and they lost that game. A bunch of other examples of that where a guy on the team goes crazy and it keeps them in it, but they lose the game. So,
Yeah, Luka did it this year. Luka got 60 and they lost, and then he followed that up a little bit later that week with another big performance where they won. It's just scoring, of course, is too easy in the NBA. It's we don't have to ask the question. Also, this is something that when I was in newspaper in high school, my newspaper teacher would have killed me for, which is if the answer is obvious, the headline doesn't have to be a question. You can just say scoring is too easy in the NBA. Here's why. Because there's a number of reasons. There's officiating. The way the officials are calling some of these fouls. If you're a pretty savvy player, you can get calls. You can get a lot of calls pretty easily if you figured out how to work the system, which, these guys aren't dumb. They practice drawing these fouls. James Harden has notoriously practiced drawing these fouls. So like, this is not something that's new. And then on top of that, just the way the rules are enforced in general, you can't defend people the way you used to. So it's much easier. There's a reason why Wemby is able to come over from playing in Europe and Luka is able to come over from playing in Europe and say it's easier to score in the NBA than it used to be over in Europe, because they officiate the games differently over there and the rules are interpreted differently so that you actually have to defend people and you're allowed to.
Randy, do you think it's because the NBA is fixed? Are you still on that? No, I guess we don't have Randy anymore.
Huh.
Okay. So Randy probably would have railed on for a while about the NBA being fixed. So
it doesn't have to be fixed though. It's just if every time someone sneezes, it's a foul, you just can't defend. Like, that's it. That's the end of the question. Some of the better defenders in this league have figured out a way to kind of stay in front of guys, but you're not trying to stop somebody. You're not trying to lock somebody down. You're just trying to make them have, as bad a game as you can possibly have them have, as opposed to, I can dictate things as a defender. You're not allowed to.
So Steph Curry, when he got that 60, they were playing the Hawks and they lost. But after the game, people are like watching. He's like, hey, he's giving his jersey. Who's that gal? Oh my God, that's Lindsay Lohan. He was giving his 60-point jersey and he signed it and he gave it to Lindsay Lohan. Everybody's like, what the hell? And it turns out they did some sort of a movie together. I guess Steph and Aisha, during the filming of the movie, became godparents to Lindsay Lohan's baby. I have no idea how that happened. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, because since it's Lindsay Lohan, pretty good chance you're going to end up with that baby. But anyway, yeah, there's some movie coming called The Irish Wish that's coming out in March. But during the filming, like I said, they became friends and close. And Lindsay Lohan made Steph Curry, Louis, the child. I don't know if that's a girl or a boy, but the child is got Steph Curry as a godfather. Now, a 60-point jersey, the game-worn jersey with a great signature on it, saying, your godparents love you, to Louis, Warriors. And that thing, that'll be worth a couple of pennies someday, huh? That's going to be worth a bit. That's a nice piece of memorabilia right there. It got to be memorabilia because a baby can't wear that. There's way too. I mean, I'm not saying Steph Curry is much bigger than a baby, but
he's like 6 foot, man.
Well, compared to most guys in the NBA.
Yeah, but that's the thing is Steph Curry went over and he had at the end of one of the games last week, he went over and like hugged George Kittle. They're the same height, which is crazy. That's just how tall NBA guys are.
I think Steph Curry is about 6'2".
I mean,
6 to 6'2".
He's somewhere around there. Yeah.
He's not tall for NBA guy.
He's not tall for NBA guy, but the fact that he looks tiny on an NBA court, it makes you forget Steph Curry's tall, like just
taller than us, but
like
not
for the
tall
average
for
population
NBA.
of human beings, just everybody. Steph Curry's pretty tall.
And I'm just going to put this out there, taller than a baby.
Yeah, by a significant margin, like that baby.
Don't try to get a hot take on me on this. I got this solid. Steph Curry, taller than a baby.
Yeah, I was agreeing. I'm saying that baby could grow to be a full adult and may not reach as tall as Steph Curry is.
But you're going to jump all Skip Bayless or something on me there.
I'd somehow argue that somehow Steph Curry is in fact not taller than a baby. Well, no. What? How could I do that?
I mean, we've seen pictures of George's babies, but still, I think Steph Curry's still
they're
taller.
huge. But Steph's still bigger than maybe not by much.
Okay,
but he's bigger than them. Yeah.
All right, we have to take a break. We'll figure out what the hell happened to Randy, and we'll be back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every touchdown, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce Drew brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at gculopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So the Sunday Super Bowl lineup looks like this. Our broadcast begins at noon p.m. And here's what goes on. At noon, we got the Super Bowl preview with Scott Graham, Ross Tucker, and Kurt Warner. And then at 1 p.m. is the Super Bowl Insider with Scott Graham, Jason McCourty, and Devin McCourty. And then at 2 p.m., it's the Super Sunday Show with Scott Graham. And then at 3 p.m., you got your Super Bowl broadcast. The kickoff is approximately at 4:30 p.m., but there's going to be all sorts of festivities and fun that have to do with this the entire day. So from noon until the damn thing is over, it's all Super Bowl all day long here on 1580, The Fanatic. And well, there's going to be an empty seat there possibly. at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes Sr. got arrested for a DWI. Yeah, he got pulled over driving drunk, and this is his third time doing it, it turns out. And he was released on $10,000 bail, so I guess he could go. But I don't know if that's probably the best place for him to be. But I guess Patrick Mahomes arrested Saturday night in Texas, according to some booking records. And boy, I tell you what, you're like, first off, okay, shame on him. Third DUI. This is a guy who has the money to take a cab or to have a driver or do whatever. Patrick Mahomes has a lot of money, but Patrick Mahomes Sr., he has his own money. He was an athlete himself. He's not poor as far as I know. So there was no reason for this. And so I get one time people make mistakes thinking, nah, I'm okay. I'm not buzzed. I'm going to drive. And then all of a sudden you get pulled over. Oh, turns out you are. And there's something you're going to have to suffer consequences for, something you have to learn from. Second time, third time. Okay.
And the third time wasn't, hey, I thought I thought it was okay. And then I went out. He had an open Coors in the car.
Oh my God.
Like that's not you forgot.
I didn't know
or
that.
Yeah. He had an open Coors Light in the car. So
that's a crime all in itself that he's drinking Coors Light.
Even if, well, that's true. Like, you can't have an open container in a vehicle. So this is not just a mistake. Like that was a decision that was made.
What a huge mistake. Probably not as big a mistake as when he said he wouldn't sit next to Taylor Swift at the AFC Conference Championship game. They tore his ass up for that, all them Swifties. He was just kidding when he said it. But this you could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
What is with that family? Now you know where the other kid gets it from. Must be getting it from Patrick Mahomes Sr. You know, what's his name? Grab a Girl Mahomes. What's the Patrick's brother?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out right now because Jackson Mahomes.
That's where the apple came from, I guess.
I already forgot his name.
I want to forget his name.
Yeah.
Be thrilled to forget his name. But if you want to know why he drinks, I think we got kind of a clue on that one. But that doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
so that's horrible.
If you're gonna drink, stay home. Stay home. If you've got to travel somewhere, get an Uber, get a cab, get a friend.
So what I need to understand is, so Patrick Mahomes, his brother assaulted a woman and has been nothing but annoying in all his little videos and the things that he does. Okay. And then his wife, she comes across as pretty damn annoying. And she enjoys and revels in Jackson Mahomes' annoyingness. So those two are kind of cut from the same cloth. But then you see the videos of Patrick Mahomes just sitting there just kind of like, okay. Like he's just tolerating the nonsense. So we've just assumed, no. Patrick Mahomes is a good guy. His wife is a little annoying, and sometimes she treats stadium workers not so great, and maybe she's a little more of a diva than even Taylor Swift in the way she treats what she probably calls the help. And, we've seen that. We've seen the brother, and like, okay, well, are we sure Patrick Mahomes isn't, because he's a good person would sit there and probably say, hey, honey, well, don't do that. Please don't do that. And to his brother, hey, enough with the dancing and stop with the TikToks, please. It's kind of embarrassing. And then the sexual assault, I'd be like, I don't know you anymore.
Yeah,
lose my phone number. You're not invited to the suite anymore. And yet, next thing you know, there's this guy who's sexually assaulting some bar owner standing right behind Taylor Swift in the suite. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I could see a million ways that could go very poorly.
So how can we keep the narrative? Patrick Mahomes is a good guy, but those guys,
because I still think you have to judge him on the merit of what he's done.
He's allowed it to happen
because his wife, I don't know what conversations they do and don't have or haven't had after the way she's acted towards people. And I do know that, like, for me, like my family, and I get in trouble for this with my family, because there is an idea in a lot of families where it's just like blood is thicker than water. Even though your family might be awful, they're still your family. You don't exclude them from things. You don't toss them away. I happen to think that my line is sexual assault. If you do that, we're done. We're not family. That's ridiculous. But I know that there are people who believe differently than that, and so like that, I don't know that I'm judging whether or not you're a good person based on how your view of family was pounded into your skull as a kid.
There are a bunch of people in Gilbert and Queen Creek who are protecting 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that were beating people down in parking lots and parking garages and killed a kid outside of a house party. And those families are protecting those people from any kind of consequence as we speak right now. So I guess, blood is thicker than whatever. But when you start to see those sorts of things, and you see the kind of activity that Jackson Mahomes has sort of been prone to, and you've seen the way this dude's wife acts, not so sure I can look at Patrick Mahomes and be like, what a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just allowing this all to happen. And, I don't know.
I just don't know how is he supposed to tell his dad what to do or what not to do? You know what I mean?
Well, this is not about his dad. His dad is making his own mistakes and his own decisions. And of course, in that situation, that it's unfortunate. But I'm talking about with his brother and his wife. That's what,
and I don't know that he's covered for them. This, like, I wouldn't say it's a similar situation in that he hasn't covered for anybody, hasn't made excuses for anybody. But at the same time, when you're I don't, and again, with his wife, I don't know if he's dealt with that at all, or if he's tried to have any conversations around that. So I don't want to speculate too much because I don't know anything. But the situation with his brother in particular stands out to me because, like, that's one where me personally, if my brother had done that, and I feel pretty confident he never would, for exactly that reason, we're done. We don't have anything to talk about anymore because we don't have anything in common. You sexually assault women, I don't. Like, that's clear as day. But I do know that there are families like that. My family is like that, and I'm kind of like the outlier, honestly.
Well, I'm just saying, as I watch this, and there's so few athletes where you're like, I would like to have somebody be as advertised, somebody be good, somebody be, the kind of role model where you feel like, all right, that's cool if your kids are looking up to that guy. That's going pretty well, Yeah.
And but this isn't like back in the day with Des Bryant, where he just, like, everybody in his group of guys was just an awful person, but they were all his friends. Like, where the people we're talking about here are Patrick Mahomes' family. And I think that makes it complicates it a little bit, because I don't know that you're a bad guy for trying to stick with your family, even though I think that's a bad idea. This is like, you didn't surround yourself with just a bunch of bad people over time. You just went out and met all of these awful folks. It's, like, we're talking about your wife, your brother, and your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And your wife isn't, like, committing crimes. So I don't want to hold that in the same level.
Well, no, of course not. I'm not trying to equalize how she treats people badly versus what a criminal does. But I'm just saying, you got a lot of stuff in your orbit, man.
There's smoke.
So you start to wonder if you're just, if you're cool with it. So what does that mean for you? Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not even trying to make a firm statement, but it's one of those things where I'm kind of squinting and I'm looking at you like, all right, what's the deal here, kid?
Yeah, I think it's a deal where it's like, there's smoke, but there may not necessarily be fire.
But it's kind of there to be.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that there's smoke, though. And it's a lot of smoke. It's not a little bit.
Oh, well. So that happened. And, I don't know. We'll see him at the game. Maybe we won't. I don't know. So did you watch any college basketball this weekend, Keon?
I watched a little. Actually, didn't watch as much as I would have wanted.
Well, what games did you watch?
You
remember? Did you see the Ole Miss game?
I didn't catch that one. No, I watched Duke UNC though.
All right, so Ole Miss and Auburn were playing, and Johnny Broome, is that how you say his name, or Johnny Brome? I don't know how to say his name.
I don't think I've actually heard his name out loud, so I don't know.
Let's call him Johnny Broome. And so he's playing there, and he kind of gets off balance a little bit, trying to save a ball from going out of bounds. And a couple people are sitting there. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They put their hand up like this, right? They put their hand like on the small of his back so he doesn't fall backwards. And then one guy grabs his jersey for a second, kind of like grabbing him to hold him there a little bit. And so the guy is just kind of reaching back behind him, Johnny Broome. He's like, hey, let go. And he smacks the hand and looks down and sees the hand he smacked was Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, I thought I was an Ole Miss fan grabbing my jersey, holding on to me. So I got his hand off. I saw who it was. I'm like, I just saw his movie on the plane. He's like, I'm a big fan of this guy. So he felt bad. And Morgan Freeman, he says, I'm sorry. He says, just keep playing. I think his Morgan Freeman was just kind of messing around. Like, yeah, I'm going to hold this guy because Morgan Freeman is an Ole Miss fan. And, Johnny Broome is from Auburn. So it's just being funny, like, haha, you got to stay here. And so he came and saw him later and says, hey, I'm sorry I slapped your hand. And he kept saying, he said the same thing. Hey, you're good. You're good. Just keep playing. And he just kind of gave him that mischievous grin. But you imagine that? You just smack a hand, look back, there's Morgan Freeman. You're like,
yeah, you're ready to talk some trash. And you look back and it's, oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, you don't forget Morgan Freeman was, he was in prison with Tim Robbins and he'll shank you.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how. But I guess I couldn't believe this. Morgan Freeman is 86. I knew he was getting up there, but I didn't know he was like 86.
Yeah, that surprises me every time, especially since he doesn't act like, I don't know, he doesn't act like how you'd think someone 86 would act. He seems like he has a lot of energy still.
Oh, yeah.
He's really sharp when I see him in interviews and stuff.
He seems to be in a lot of movies. Like some movies, you're like, why are you in this movie? Because I like money. So, he grew up about an hour from Ole Miss campus in Oxford. So he's a longtime Rebels fan and he goes to the games quite a bit. So anyways, I've never slapped a hand and turned around and seen Morgan Freeman. I did get into an elevator and at a Phoenix Suns game. I was going up to a suite and I there was a very drunk Glenn Campbell leaning up against the side of the elevator, because if he didn't lean up against the side of the elevator, he'd have been on the floor. He was so drunk, and he just smiled at me like, and I'm like, I bet in his head it's I'm a rhinestone cowboy, and he's just like, yeah, it's me. And when the elevator door opened, I kind of looked at him like if he was going to get out first, and he just kind of stood there. He couldn't move. I'm like, okay. He just walked out. I think he just kind of sat in that elevator, just riding up and down for a while.
Just sobered up in an elevator.
Yeah, that is a true story. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby thinks when I say, I think he means when I talk about, we just need an athlete who comes to advertise, good guy. He says, you're talking about George Kittle. I think George Kittle is, but I don't know, man. He does. Yeah, I hope so. He's a fun one. He is a fun one. When you look like a carny, there's a domestic violence assault, call in the future.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? I hope not.
I don't think so. And
doesn't he look like a guy you would see on Cops with his shirt off? And so does Cooper Kupp, if we're honest. He does look like that guy.
Cooper Kupp, definitely.
Somebody says he looks like a guy from The Burbs. Remember that movie with Tom Hanks? The Kleps or whoever the name of those people were, the bad guys in that movie. He looks just like one of them.
Cooper Kupp, the more he grows his beard, the weirder he looks. Like he looks less normal the longer his beard gets. He needs to shave some of it.
I don't remember a time he looked anything but weird. Pull the Plug says, yep, you are what you surround yourself with. Well,
yeah, but we're talking about family, right? Like, if you surround yourself with your family and your family's all bad folks, but you were raised that like family is one of the most important things that you can have, it's hard for a lot of people to let go of that. I can kind of empathize with it a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
No, I can understand, being in a situation, but you don't get the sense especially not from some of the videos and some of the things we've seen, that he's making an effort to improve that situation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just don't know if you can know that without knowing what those conversations are.
No, that's
and
fair.
stuff. Yeah.
And that's why I say it appears. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not there. That's what I'm saying. He's either just as bad as they are, or the poor guy just really needs some help.
Cursed with the worst group of people around him.
Fifth letter says, guys, have you checked on Randy? I'm getting really worried for him now. Well, he was there, then he wasn't there, so I don't know what's going on. I sent him a text, but he hasn't responded. He's probably, he does sometimes. He'll go in the backyard and he'll shout at the weather to try to get it to change its mind. So maybe he's doing that. I'm not sure. I don't think he's in danger, though. Killer Rabbit says, yeah, wow. Johnny Broom slapped God's hand in Evan Almighty. That's what he just did there. And he says, by the way, sorry I was late to the show. Did anyone bring up old Steve Joe Dirt Mullet Belichick being the defensive coordinator in Washington and Cliffy and all that? Oh, yeah, we talked about that in the last hour, Killer Rabbit. You have to go back and listen to that podcast. Big George says, yeah, Morgan Freeman also played God. Yeah, we've covered that. Just another face in the crowd says, Glenn Campbell in the elevator. Oh, yeah. He wasn't leaning. He wasn't just leaning. When you saw that bleary-eyed Glenn Campbell in the elevator, he wasn't leaning on the elevator wall. He was propping it up, and he just didn't want it to collapse. Mm-hmm. I'm, I just kind of picture the end result was him eventually collapsing in the elevator and some poor Suns worker having to, like kind of just push him over on top of one of them big carts, and just wheel him out of there. Moist One says George Kittle is a big WWE fan. That's the worst thing about him. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. It seems like he's having fun. Yeah, I'm not going to begrudge him. I don't begrudge Gronk. I don't begrudge these guys for running out there and playing wrestling. You see a chance to do something you watched when you were a kid and you want to have fun and be a part of it. I got no problem with that. Yeah, I got no problem with that. And, it's just, I have no respect for the fake wrestling personally. That's all. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got a couple more things to talk about in the world of actual regular sports. And then let's talk about the big game coming up this Sunday. We can say Super Bowl because we're your Super Bowl station. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every touchdown, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and you'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's Collins ahead to Miller, and Miller reverses it up and in, and he's fouled. Holy moly.
Make sure your Valentine's Day plans include Sun Devil men's basketball. The Sun Devils face Oregon State Wednesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. in the Beavers' final Pac-12 visit to Tempe. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball. Onward to victory.
Super Bowl 58 is on. You can catch every moment of the Super Bowl on your home for the NFL. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Super Bowl 58 on The Fanatic is brought to you by Bet365, Salt Creek Furniture, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Harmon Solar. When it comes to Super Bowl 58, The Fanatic has you covered from the first kick to the final score. Don't miss the Super Bowl on your home for the NFL. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now.
Or even now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You know, the one thing we didn't consider is that maybe it was our end. Randy keeps restarting his equipment and doing whatever, and I'm like, hey, maybe we should check our end and make sure that everything's okay there. So we're restarting the equipment on this end, so hopefully we can get Randy on at some point in a way that actually works. So yeah, well, if that works, if we restart that and it works, he's gonna be mad. Don't tell him. just like, hey, it's a miracle. Oh, it worked. And you don't any of you sons of bitches tell him out there either. I'm just saying. All right. So I'm just checking the thing here. I'm just yeah. All right. Back to what we're doing. We'll see what happens. Let me know when that piece of equipment is restarted, okay? So I can also send him a thing. Lost Toby says Hunter Pence was also that guy. Okay. I feel like that's a name I'm supposed to remember. Hunter Pence? Who's Hunter? Why does that name sound familiar?
Didn't he play for the Giants?
He's the Reverend, the former baseball player, designated hitter for the Astros and the Padres. So, whatever happened to him anyway?
Let's see.
Well, Lost Toby. Let Lost Toby tell us. He seems to know about him. Rough Rob says, the last thing I need this week is Kittle and McCaffrey watching DVD cases. Don't wish that. Or catching DV cases? What? Oh, domestic violence cases. Why would McCaffrey, who McCaffrey reminds me of? If you've been watching this at all on the Amazon, Jack Reacher. He looks like miniature Reacher. Because like his whole demeanor and his sort of humorlessness when he sits there and when he talks to somebody, and just his whole kind of Boy Scout kind of mannerisms. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you seen Jack Reacher? Not the one that old Tommy Cruise did. Yeah, I'm talking about the one
Amazon one, right?
Yeah, this big old mass of a human.
That guy's huge. Oh my God. I can see it though. Yeah, I can see it. Like if you
shrank him down into Christian McCaffrey size.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, he I guess to tell a story, was an artsy fartsy kid growing up, and he used to catch a beating here and there, and he just sort of grew and grew and grew, and now he's doing this role, and he's run into some old bullies, and they're like, he's nice to him, but just in real life, that guy seemed like a pretty nice guy. You hope. That's all. Every time I say that, I feel like I got to say, you hope.
Yeah, because you just never know. Like people are complicated, and so some people look perfectly fine, perfectly nice, and they've got skeletons buried somewhere.
Mhm,
And then the other people who, maybe have had some screw ups or some public stuff in the past, but they've managed to grow from it and actually change and develop as people. So it's just hard to say, but you hope when you come across people, especially people like athletes and actors who are role models and in those positions where everybody's watching them, especially kids, you just hope that they are a good person so they can be a good example.
Yep. And so let's just, I guess all you can do is hope for the best. 888-368-1580. And I'm still trying to access that equipment myself. So I'm just gonna leave it alone and hope Randy can get in. All right. So Swave Dave says, I think Glenn was working on the lyrics to Love in an Elevator for Aerosmith. Well, he didn't get any love from me. I just smiled politely and walked the hell out. Lost Toby says, yeah, Hunter Pence is a pretty good announcer for baseball now. And yes, that's what Big George says. He's retired and doing the play-by-play. Yeah, good for him. It's nice when you get a nice one. There's certain individuals, I mean, here's the thing. I say, like Larry Fitzgerald. And everybody's like, hey, remember, though, early on, he had some issues. I say a lot of that was crazy girl issues, not so much crazy Larry issues. And, maybe he could have handled that a little bit better. And then there's, hey, Luis Gonzalez. Oh, he was on the steroids. Everybody's got to say a thing, So it's like, even the guys who we still think are pretty good guys, everybody's got a little something. But then you look at yourself. If somebody suddenly did a celebrity deep dive into you, the person listening right now, would there be things you'd have to explain? Would there be certain things that maybe needed context? Or would you be like, I don't need to be famous? Maybe we don't talk about me, Killer Rabbit says Christian McCaffrey is the shortest of his brothers. Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that. And by the way, yes, he is genuine. Like I said, you hope he is.
Yeah. I mean, you can't know. I mean, you see Christian McCaffrey and like he might be the real deal. He might just be a genuinely good guy, but like we're humans. And so is he. So like not everybody isn't mistake free. You know what I mean? And you just hope that nobody's made any mistakes that are so terrible you can't root for him. Like certain quarterback in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I hope
because he was one of the guys I used to think that's a good guy.
Me too.
And he was doing all kinds of stuff in the community, and people in Houston loved him for he'd go out and help the homeless. But man, that doesn't mean you get to do everything else that he did as far as the sexual assault went. So here we are.
Killer Rabbit, he admits it. He's like, hey, I'm a mess. A lot of people are a mess. We all have things, that maybe we don't feel very proud of, hearts we may have broken, mistakes that we may have made. And Killer Rabbit's like, no, seriously, don't look into my past. We weren't going to, man. We weren't going to. Take it easy. And we just we don't want to be that person. We want to be the person that we're trying to be right now. And that is the person that you take serious. That's the person that you are. And so no, we're not all handcuffed to mistakes we've made in our past or things that we've done to a point. There's some stuff where you're like, oh no, that dude is true to his nature. That dude is a narcissist psychopath. You got to stay away from that one. But, in general, being the best version of you can be right now is all that anybody can ask for. But right now, the version of Jackson Mahomes is the version that sexually assaulted that bar owner, and then all the people who intimidated her and drove her out of business with threats and this and that. And the Jackson Mahomes is the version who didn't take accountability for his actions. Wow. Wonder where that came from. How about Daddy Mahomes, who drank and drove, and then drank and drove again, and then drank and drove again? Where's the, he did pay consequences. He did do some time in jail for this sort of thing, and he probably will again. But this is the version of these people now. Brittany Mahomes is the one who acted horrible towards fans and acted horrible towards stadium staff and acts like a diva. That is the version of these people now, not the version of them that they wish, wow, I wish I could have changed that. Wow, I regret that. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, we all got stuff, but it's how you go forward, and this is how things are going forward.
Yeah, that's the reason why it's going to be impossible to ever like Deshaun Watson again, because he doesn't appear to be sorry. Like,
no.
Every time they ask him about it, he keeps describing what happened as just some crazy situation he just found himself sexually assaulting 24 women. Just as you do.
He doesn't acknowledge that was even a thing.
Yeah, so for him, it's like, there's just no redemption from that. Like, this guy's that's who he is. And he's going to keep making excuses about it until one day we hear that not happen. And I don't think it's coming, to be honest. I'm not holding my breath.
888-368-1580. Killer Rabbit said, I was afraid yesterday Ray Lewis was going to shank the referee for that flag football fake blitz thing. Yeah, whether the rumors are true or not true about Ray Lewis, you just don't ever want to aggravate that man, ever. You know, Chief Skull says, afternoon, gentlemen. I refuse to accept that I am or was a mess. I'm only slightly delusional. All right, man. Well, that's yours. Fifth letter says, Randy is doing okay and doing well. A few bumps and bruises, nothing serious. No, he's fine. He's fine. He's just working on some tech stuff. Wilbur says, I missed part of the show. Did Randy do something like expose himself on one of the cameras? Yes, but that had nothing to do with this. We weren't talking about Randy at all on this. Randy's just having some technical difficulties, and hopefully we're working on getting that resolved. So, no, none of this has to do with Randy. Big George says, Luis Gonzalez, oh boy, was not in that report. It was not in the Mitchell report. No, I know that, but I'm just saying a lot of people bring it up. He says, no, the only Diamondbacks haters like Ralph bring that up without any kind of proof. Moist One says, make sure to bring your Valentine. Okay. To the Sun. What? To the Sun Devil game. So you can at least see somebody. Oh, okay. I can't read the rest of that. When am I going to learn? When am I going to learn?
I don't know. Eventually.
So speaking of Christian McCaffrey, you know, he's got that girlfriend, that fiance, Olivia Culpo. I have no idea who she is. Turns out she was Miss Universe or something. And they've been together since 2019 and they're engaged and all that stuff. And she did a nice thing. I guess Chris McCaffrey, with his money, you know, he's got quite a bit. He says, well, I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, fam. It is too expensive to get you guys a suite, you know, to get you guys a box for the Super Bowl. This is crazy money. And so, sorry, can't do that. And so his mom, Lisa, was like, yeah, we looked into a suite. None of us can afford it. Not even Christian Moneybags over there. She actually said that. And said, nor Moneybags Olivia, referring to the fiance. She goes, so we're not in a suite. I'll tell you that right now. So I was like, wow, okay, that sounded like horrible. You know, oh, my son, the Moneybags is too cheap to get us a suite. And so I guess Olivia Culpo got wind of this, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to show her. And this is a good way to show up and shut up a future mother-in-law. She went on Instagram and says, hey, Lisa McCaffrey. Fake news. Guess what? Happy birthday. I bought you a suite. Bam. She dropped the mic on Chris McCaffrey's mom like crazy. And you know how much those suites can go for? $800,000 to $2 million. Wow. Olivia Culpo sees future fights with that mother-in-law, and she's like, I'm winning this one.
and probably some of those future fights too.
Yeah,
and remember that time I dropped $800,000 on you, just casually.
So now there's a suite. I don't know how many people you can cram into that, but Lisa, his mom, was like complaining on some podcast, like, yeah, he was only able to get us 8 Super Bowl tickets. Yeah, my son, who's worth $23.5 million. Mom, what? Why? Don't tell people how much I'm worth, and why are you complaining? I got you 8 tickets. These are tickets that are going for crazy money. I don't know. She sounds kind of horrible.
Yeah, it's not a great look. I don't like it. I don't know the woman, so I'm not going to judge her too hard.
Well, here, how about this? She then came out and said, yeah, I love Taylor Swift. I listen to her all the time. But we're boycotting any T Swift song. She's dead to me right now. dead to us this week.
Well, she's supporting her kid anyway, so there's
No,
that.
I can appreciate that,
Yeah. But the other stuff, it just seems like
like Christian didn't want to buy a suite, didn't want to get. He's just like, I'm just trying to. He's doing what Patrick Mahomes doesn't do. He's just, I'm trying to control this situation. This is out of
making,
control.
like $11 million at his base salary this year, but this is the first year he's made anywhere near that much money.
Yeah,
he just
blame
doesn't
him.
have it. Yeah.
And he's like, geez, if these people come to the game, then I might have to hang out with them. Yeah, thoughts and prayers for Christian McCaffrey. Come on back. We'll talk more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-364-1031 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-364-1031. That's 800-364-1031. What do you have to lose? Call 800-364-1031. Again, 800-364-1031.
Come join American Furniture Warehouse and see our amazing deals on sofas, sectionals, recliners, bedroom furniture and mattresses, dining room furniture and accessories. AFW has the latest styles, largest selection, and lowest prices anywhere. Our warehouses are full and ready for you to take your new furniture home today. At American Furniture Warehouse, you'll find the perfect items for your space at a price you'll love. Visit one of our 3 Phoenix area showrooms or shop online at afw.com. afw.com.
Attention business owners, do you need zero money down financing on new or used equipment? Meet Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, your gateway to equipment financing that breaks the mold. JR Capital offers zero money down financing options on both new and used equipment, vehicles, heavy machinery, and more. It's a game changer, giving you the power to enhance your operations without slowing you down or denting your cash flow. Need a boost in working capital or a flexible line of credit? Dylan can help your business get the cash flow it needs fast. The process is a breeze too, with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. Call Dylan Cohen at JR Capital today at 602-834-7353 or click on Finance with Dylan at moneyradio.com. Call Dylan Cohen 602-834-7353 and get the money you need for your business today.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
hour. Quiet, people, settle down, because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He's still trying to work out his login. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Randy's having an issue with his broadcast equipment. I'm careful not to say his equipment because I know where you people will go with that. But we're working on it. That's all I can say. We're working on it. So we'll see what happens. We're close. I know that. We're close. 888-368-1580. That works. Text line is all good and working. I don't know. What else do we have? This work. The YouTube is working. That's working. The radio station is working. We know that's working. Is there anything else that everything is working except for Randy's equipment for some reason? So unfortunately, that's it. That's the only thing. So sorry. Is there anything else not working?
I can't think of what that would be.
I guess we would know because it wouldn't be working.
That's a good point.
So yeah. Anyway, so hopefully Randy can try again because we've reset some stuff and he'll show up. We'll see. Let's talk about the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. The Chiefs and the 49ers, they've flown in and landed in Vegas yesterday, and both teams are there. The Chiefs are hanging out at the big stadium. Chiefs are, hanging out and at the practice facilities for the Raiders, which the indignity just continues to grow and grow and grow in this situation. The poor Raiders fans, first thing that they got to hear is, hey, here come the Chiefs. They're going to be using your locker room. And the Chiefs are the home team on your field. And all this stuff is just kind of eating at the craw of every single person that is a Raiders fan. Absolutely just
as it should be. I mean, that's the last group of human beings you want using your building in a game where you're not there. You're not represented.
Yeah.
In fact, they're representing your conference in your house.
And it hurts. It hurts a lot. And then I see these pictures on the socials. They've painted the Chiefs logo on the wall and put a big Chiefs sign right there at the entrance of the Raiders locker room. They have,
that's just disrespectful.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
Maybe you hang a couple of banners up there, just, you put it over it, but they painted the wall. They put signage, these big, letter signs up and down the wall next to the door. Dear God.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That you know exactly what that would mean.
Woof. I just really feel for the Raider fans who are having to suffer this right now. Of course, the 49ers, they are not in that facility. In fact, their practice facility is the field over at UNLV, and they're not happy. The 49ers are already complaining, saying, listen, it's not about safety, but the team's preference. They're like, this field is kind of soft, and we kind of like a firmer surface when we practice because, we're trying to, mimic what's going to happen in the actual game. So, they're like, hey, could we come over and maybe work out at the Raiders facility? Could we do that? But the Chiefs are supposed to be practicing there all week. Yeah, okay, because maybe we could share and, they could have it from this time to this time. We could go, can we go over there? This maybe? No, I don't think they're going to let you do that. So, the NFL is looking into this. The NFL even, they put natural grass over UNLV's turf because they thought, well, that would help. But
yeah, I mean, but that's still a significantly different surface than if you're putting grass on top of turf. The Super Bowl is not being played as grass on top of turf.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, listen,
it doesn't seem quite fair.
Let them go get on the field. Let them go just, do some walkthroughs or something.
It just seems
like
if we have 2 weeks of time between the Super Bowl, it just seems like 1 week. The Chiefs could use the better field.
But they all showed up like yesterday. So there's 1 week.
No. Don't know what to tell you.
You're going to be okay, 49ers.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay. It's just a little softer field than what you're used to. It's not a health issue. It's just, Just do the best you can. You'll be fine. I guess that's what happens when you're not the home team. You don't get to choose those things. And by the way, Raider fans, there is no Chiefs flag buried under that stadium. Somebody sent this story around, and they buried a Chiefs Kingdom flag in the dirt under some concrete right around the time they were building this place. And then they like, well, this is where the 50-yard line is going to be, so they put it there. That's what people were saying. And turns out that's just a hoax. That ain't true. Because all these people are like, we got to dig that up. They're like, no, that didn't actually happen. They have proven it didn't happen. And there's none. There is not. In fact, the guy who actually started the hoax, he was like, no, that's not true. It didn't happen. But then I guess what happened is the Raiders president, Mark Bedane, contacted this guy saying, hey, what the hell, man? Is this true? Is this a true story there? And he's like, no, it's not real. So it's okay. There is no Chiefs flag buried under the stadium. Not like that should make a difference. So what? What if it was there? How's that going to help you win? Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, nothing at all.
It's just funny.
Not unless you're superstitious, and even then, I just don't see how that would influence anything.
If you're a Raider fan, you could turn that around and say, okay, well, that we walk on top of the Chiefs every time we're on the field. They're beneath us. They're worm food. They're dead. They're 6 feet under. You don't have to let this be, a thing where, we're cursed because there's a Chiefs flag under our field. No, man, just like wipe your feet on it.
That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Now, it does seem to hurt the argument a little bit if they win a Super Bowl in your house on said field.
Well, it just means they were better than the other team. It doesn't mean that flag had any.
Yeah, not that it helped them. Just
It just
puts more salt in the wound more than anything.
You can turn that in your favor, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
your flags aren't supposed to be under dirt. Flags are supposed to be flown in the air like freedom. They're not supposed to be decomposing underneath the ground. So no, there's no jinx. There's no curse. It's just some idiot put a flag underground that they paid for. Like, those aren't that cheap,
Yeah, that's awfully stupid of you. So what a waste of money on a flag that no one's ever going to see. Congratulations.
Yeah, just I'm sorry, don't get it. By the way, they do this every year. The Madden simulation. So can I just say, doing it once doesn't tell you anything. Doing it once, you run it 10,000 times, maybe then you could start to see some things if all the stats are where there should be, and you go, okay, this is a theme, this is a likelihood. You run that simulation 10,000 times, and then maybe we can talk. But doing it once, I'm not going to take it that serious. But over the past 3 Super Bowls, this simulation is 3-0. Pick the Rams, pick the Chiefs, pick the Buccaneers when they won. So this summer, there was a full season simulation for the entirety of 2023, and a lot of stuff didn't happen. Panthers certainly didn't make the playoffs, but they did get some things correct. They did get that the Packers upset the Cowboys in the playoffs. That was in the simulation.
Wow.
The Eagles being one and done in postseason, and the Chiefs reaching the Super Bowl. All those things were in the simulation. But that was about it. So now they've done is they played the game, and they in the game they got the 49ers beating Kansas City.
Oh,
and the MVP, where'd that go? What was the guy who used to be on the Chiefs? Now he's on the 49ers. It was a defensive player. Oh crap. I accidentally, it's not on my page here, so I don't remember who it was. But a guy who used to be with the Chiefs, now at the 49ers, they said would be that's how you know that's not going to happen. Because
how often do defensive guys even win the award? Like, you'd have to have an insane day.
I don't remember the name, so it doesn't matter because it ain't going to happen. So, but yes, the Super Bowl simulation says the 49ers will beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they had Charvarius Ward
I think that might be it.
winning
Yeah.
the MVP there. Yeah, former Chief.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Especially if I was going to pick somebody on the Niners defense to have a chance of winning the MVP, I don't know that he's in my top 5.
Yeah.
It's a good defense. It's a great defense.
So
I just don't know that. I just don't. There's a lot of guys on that defense that are fantastic. I don't know that he's my first choice for Super Bowl MVP.
We'll have to see what happens. If he ends up being the MVP, that now you're gonna have to start paying attention to this. Now that's something, but I really doubt it.
He would have to have a bonkers day. I mean, just an insane, like 3 or 4 interceptions or something. I mean, I don't know that that's happening.
Killer Rabbit says, remember that construction guy from Boston? He put the flag under the new Yankee Stadium. What did they do about that? Did they dig it up or did they just leave it? Because I'm just like, who cares? It's underground. We buried you bastards. That's how I would put it. But if it bothers the Yankees, I enjoy it. Swave Dave says, at least McCaffrey's mom didn't go into the story of the day he was born at the hours of labor, yada, yada, yada. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dave. What are you talking about?
Please
you
explain.
mean of all the stuff she said? Then she's like, when I was having my water break and it was Christian. Is that what you mean?
Did she didn't go back to I gave birth to you and therefore I should have Super Bowl tickets? Because that would be a weird thing to do and also very crappy. But
it was fair.
She did not do that.
Wilbur says, are there any prop bets that give you the opportunity to bet whether or not either backup quarterback will get at least one snap in the game? I bet there is. I would
be stunned if there wasn't.
Yeah.
I can check during the break.
That usually will happen if one team is way up on the other team or
worst case scenario, somebody gets hurt, knocked out of the game, concussion protocol, something like that.
But then again, I don't know. I never saw Tom Brady let a backup have a snap at the end. No, he wanted to be on the field when that ended. So I don't know. I don't see Patrick Mahomes give Brock Purdy. I could see him letting a guy go out there, but I don't know. I don't see these. That's a glory moment. I don't think so, Wilbur.
Yeah, you want to be the guy on the field when the confetti starts falling and all of that. You don't want to be getting up off the bench, even though, clearly you did your job so well. You were on the bench. I don't think most guys want that.
Big George says, Jeffrey, yes, you're saying that you're working on it. Well, it's being worked on. Wait, you're saying you're working on Randy's equipment and you're close. That doesn't sit well with me. Well, again, it's not a family show. And second, you're the perv who made that into that. And shut up.
You heard those words and your brain went there. My brain didn't go there.
My brain certainly didn't go there.
Yeah. So I think that you need to go to your mirror and consult the person looking at you as to why it is that your mind went there.
So where did your mind go as far as how much you'd pay for a Super Bowl ticket? Well, it turns out people are not going to let these Super Bowl tickets go for as high as people want them to go for. Ticket resellers are actually finding out people don't want to pay $10,000 for a nosebleed seat at the Super Bowl.
Huh.
I guess there's finally some pushback.
Imagine that.
I mean, some people are buying them, but a week ago, cheapest ticket you could find was $10,000, but over the next 7 days, that dropped to about $5,500. So,
it would be cool to just be in the building, but most people don't have just $10,000 lying around to go to the Super Bowl with.
I ain't spending that much money for bad seats.
Yeah. You're looking at the game with binoculars. At that point, what are you doing, man? Just go home and watch the game at your house.
You imagine you and another person go, and let's say it's for $20,000. You have to pay $20,000. You could have had a catered party, with help, people cleaning up afterwards, people feeding everybody, the whole staff, the whole party crew and staff, all the food, you valet parking for your guests. They'll take the car and park it on your neighbor's yard or something. And a giant TV for $20,000.
Wow.
You could do a crazy, one of the best parties that anybody's ever been to, I would think, for $20,000.
You could. Yeah. I mean, why even do it at your house? You could rent a space.
Yeah. Rent a hall. or every community has that community, like a nice one, like a community center, and you're like, oh yeah, I've never been there, but let's do this. But yeah,
get a nice projector or something. Watch the game, and I don't know what the size of the screen would be, but you can watch the game as clearly as you want to on as big a screen as you want to with all your friends and all the food you want.
I am glad that nobody did this. Well, there's some people that did this, but not everybody's doing it. If these prices are going down, people are saying, yeah, no thanks. And now these guys with these tickets are like, better mark them down. So I'm glad that the market is correcting, if you will, because it's getting damn ridiculous. Hunter says, don't feel bad for Raider fans. If they don't like having the Chiefs logo everywhere for a Super Bowl they're hosting, maybe next time win your conference so it doesn't happen. Zero pity for the Raiders, says Hunter.
Yeah, but sometimes that's just timing. Like, teams have their moment of being good, and they also have their moment of being bad. And if if they say, oh, the Super Bowl is that year, whatever year it is,
just by coincidence, this is the year.
And you're having a down year. You found out the new coach you hired, turns out he sucks so badly you had to relieve him of his duties in the middle of the season. Like, there's just, you do feel bad for him because it's not like the players wanted this. It's not like the fans have any control over this.
Yeah. Lefty says, you guys thought tweaking in the pool was bad. No, that is worse. That's worse. Tweaking in the pool is worse than
immediately
temporarily putting a sign on the locker room.
Because you can go back and paint back over that stuff. I mean, it's still disrespectful, but you can go back and do that. You can't unpleag a pool.
A lot of bleach. But still, the indignity. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We'll talk more Super Bowl stuff. I got some non-Super Bowl NFL stuff to talk about, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Free air-chilled boneless chicken breasts and 4 juicy boneless pork chops with your order. OmahaSteaks.com/VSIN. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Super Bowl 58, some special betting odds for the game on February 11th in Las Vegas. Quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy to combine for 50-plus rushing yards. You can get that at plus 150. San Francisco running back Christian McCaffrey to score 2 or more rushing touchdowns. Get that at plus 420. Chris Jones and Nick Bosa both to record a half a sack each. That's at plus 290. McCaffrey, a dual threat on the 49ers offense to get both a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. You can get that at plus 750. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99. Only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harman Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
2 yards should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
What in? The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best teed up at the 2024 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 5th through 11th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
Attention business owners, do you need zero money down financing on new or used equipment? Meet Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, your gateway to equipment financing that breaks the mold. JR Capital offers zero money down financing options on both new and used equipment, vehicles, heavy machinery, and more. It's a game changer, giving you the power to enhance your operations without slowing you down or denting your cash flow. Need a boost in working capital or a flexible line of credit? Dylan can help your business get the cash flow it needs fast. The process is a breeze too, with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. Call Dylan Cohen at JR Capital today at 602-834-7353 or click on Finance with Dylan at moneyradio.com. Call Dylan Cohen 602-834-7353 and get the money you need for your business today.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
We've been friends for over 30 years. And
Wait. It's been over 30 years?
Yep, you are that old.
Well, at least you have one friend.
Anyway, we have a show called The Weekend Warriors, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
We'll discuss national and local sports, and we'll talk about some sports that you don't hear about much.
We'll also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their stories with you.
We look forward to sharing these great stories and hanging out with you.
It's The Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
So Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So getting ready for Super Bowl. By the way, Super Bowl is heard only here on 1580 The Fanatic. Well, actually, that's not true. That is not true. Super Bowl is only heard on 1580 The Fanatic, but also is going to be heard on our sister station, Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM. Why? Because we can. That's all. Of course, our broadcast will start at noon because we've got the Super Bowl preview, Super Bowl Insider, Super Sunday show. We've got all sorts of great programming getting ready with Kurt Warner and Scott Graham and a bunch of guys, the McCourties, that sort of thing. And then, of course, at 3 p.m., the main broadcast for the Super Bowl starts. And then there you go. By the way, over on 1510 and 105.3 FM Money Radio, the actual Super Bowl broadcast at 3 p.m., that will be where they start. So we've got all the broadcast. Money Radio's got the game. So CRC Broadcasting, the only game in town for the Super Bowl in Phoenix when it comes to being on the radio. So there. As Socrates once said, nanny, nanny, boo boo, your pants are full of poo poo. 888-368-1580. Yeah, you can quote me on that. So I don't know if this is gamesmanship or if it's, just honesty. Because, sometimes we've seen Belichick do this. What does Belichick used to do? He would always glam up and talk up and just like, hey, yeah, that player on the other team there. Oh, that's a heck of a player right there. And he'd go into a press conference, Belichick, and be like glowingly speaking of some cornerback or of some player on the other team. And then they would destroy them. The Patriots would just obliterate that guy. And I usually think they're just getting in that guy's head. That's a mind game if I've ever heard one. So now you got Travis Kelce. Somebody's like, hey, who do you think is the best tight end in the league? And he says, I'll tell you who the best is. I'm proud of this guy. The best is George Kittle.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
He's learned from the master.
Oh, yeah. He's the best in the league. He's been playing lights out, playing the best football of his career, and really catapulting that San Fran team through the playoffs, man. Is that really true? He's good. I don't know if he has been a singular factor for the 49ers.
Not a singular
with
factor.
Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Ayuk. Wait. No, Ayuk's on the Chiefs. Who's the other?
Ayuk's a Niner.
Oh, no. Okay, I got it right. So, it's not just George Kittle. And George Kittle, he's damn good. But I don't know if I would look at him and say he's the best tight end in the NFL, would you?
the best. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Because with Kittle is he plays the part of the game that I think he don't get a lot of highlights. He's such a good blocker. He does everything you could ask a tight end to do at an incredibly high level. Travis Kelce is really, really good, but Travis Kelce is not the blocker that Kittle is. And you'd be hard pressed to find anybody who actually is. I mean, he's that good at getting to the second level on running plays and destroying people, at staying in and giving extra support to the line. He does all of that at an elite level. I think that Kelce could probably, I would argue that Kelce is like the best offensive player as a receiver, as a weapon. But in terms of just a complete tight end, Kittle can do everything.
Okay. But who is the best?
Who's the best?
Who's the best? Simple, quick answer. Who's the best tight end?
I'm still saying Kelce because his impact as a weapon is just so huge. I mean, you can't ignore it. What he did in that title game, for instance, is insane.
And I think he knows that.
Yeah. I mean, he's what he's trying to do is this is what Bill Belichick always did, was you avoid giving the other team bulletin board material. And if you can lull them into a false sense of security, you've done that too. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't think Travis Kelce is disingenuous. And I think, some people can vote for themselves in an election. Other people just can't seem to do it. I think Travis Kelce is a good guy. And I think he's looking at all the other tight ends. And that's when he says, yeah, George Kittle. George Kittle's the best. And it's a nice thing to say, I guess. But could also get in your head. And now George Kittle's got to sit there and go,
why is he saying that?
Yeah, why is he saying that? What's the deal with that? We haven't heard a lot about this week so far. I mean, in the last week since we found out who the Super Bowl team was going to be, Chiefs versus 49ers. We haven't heard a lot about
who?
Brock Purdy.
True.
I haven't really heard anybody talking about Brock Purdy.
His name hasn't really come up that much.
No.
But, I still think that that's connected to the perception of what some folks have about Brock Purdy, that the team is not run by Brock Purdy. So he ends up kind of falling down the totem pole of guys in terms of importance. So when they're talking about all of these people and reporting on all of these guys that are what are they doing to prepare for the Super Bowl, Brock Purdy kind of gets left in the shuffle. And Brock Purdy doesn't make himself the center of attention anyway. He's not going to show up Joe Burrow style with a giant diamond chain that says Brock. So he already lends himself a little bit to being hidden.
Well, he only makes him under $1 million a year. He's got a $3.7 million deal as a rookie, 4 years. He was Mr. Irrelevant. So this is what he's got. He's got his paycheck. He's doing all right. But, he doesn't get that diamond necklace that says Brock, maybe cubic zirconia. But he did manage to do one thing to get some money is he signed a lucrative national Toyota endorsement deal. So he's going to be in Toyota commercials here. I don't know when that starts, but they signed it in October. So I don't know why we haven't seen him, and maybe you'll see him in Super Bowl commercials or something.
Yeah, and I guess if he signed it in October, there may not have been any time to film anything. So off season, you might start to see some of those commercials pop up, or next football season when he films them this off season. So it's probably what it is. Yeah, don't get distracted by side gigs.
Well, he's been driving a Toyota Sequoia, so that's been his ride already.
So he believes in it.
Yeah, and I don't know why if you signed something in October and nothing's happening yet. If it's a national deal, shouldn't we see him in commercials? Get rid of that annoying guy.
They may not have. Oh my God! Please.
You know what I'm talking about? The guy,
Pat.
Yeah, Pat. Oh dear God!
Just the most annoying human being.
Woof.
His voice. If his voice had a face, I would punch it. In addition to punching his face. Yeah, I just think that if they signed it during football season, and he's not trying to be distracted by anything that's not his job, his main focus, may not have filmed anything yet.
Yeah. Well, so far, he has an endorsement deal he did with Alaskan Airlines. They offered priority boarding to all passengers wearing a Brock Purdy jersey. And then he did a thing with Buffalo Wild Wings, which when he was like serving out of their drive-through pretty great burgers during the draft, so he's finding his way to making a little money here and there. But this Toyota deal, this is his big deal. This is his big deal. So I don't know. I don't know when we will see a commercial, but at least he's got that going for him. So this is an opportunity for Brock Purdy. He's got to prove himself. He continually has to prove himself. And it has that narrative. Oh, he's a system quarterback. And there's people fighting about it. Old quarterbacks, new quarterback. Everybody's fighting about what Brock Purdy really is. And he's got to, if he can, he's got to show you. He's got to show you in this game. He has to have the game of his life in this game. He could lose the Super Bowl, but as long as he has a great game, as long as he is smart and productive and does good, then everybody's going to be cool with him. But if he blows it in this game, it's going to be an uphill battle for him for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be every single game you're asking, is he the guy that's really in charge here? And then if he's around long enough to get paid and become the focal point of the Niners, well, now you're taking up cap space. Like, that's when that criticism gets to reach another level that you'd like to put all of the hate to bed if you could prior to that happening. Because look at how we talk about Dak. Like, Dak's been a pretty solid quarterback, but he's making so much money. The question isn't whether or not Dak is good. Dak is good. Is Dak worth all of that? And that's going to be the conversation around Brock Purdy if he doesn't have that kind of game that separates him from what people think about him and where he was drafted and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So Brock Purdy, he needs to be just nearly perfect in this game, or else even if they win, if he's not nearly perfect, they're going to be like, yeah, he didn't win.
Because that's what happened. That's what's happening already. NFC title game. He has that brilliant end to the game, but you still have the other three quarters you're looking at where you're like, okay, so you looked great here. The hell happened for these three quarters, So that's I think that's still going to be held against him, and I don't think it's fair, really.
I haven't seen him nervous yet, but I would not be surprised if his knees are shaking to be in a Super Bowl already.
It's the most pressure anyone is going to have playing this sport, and you're playing the most important position. If you can be the kind of person that just put it all behind you, just go out there and play, you are a special kind of person.
Swave Dave says, home at last. Pour me a tall one, please. I got to pick up the poo and put down the pre-emergent before the rain hits. It's pre-emergent. What's that?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm Googling it because I don't know. What is that? Something for your dog? Is it barricade pre-emergent? Let me see. Oh, weed killer. Okay.
Why did you just say that?
All right.
I'll hold on to that one so I can.
Evidently, you do that, twice a year, and okay. Well, have at it, Swave Dave. Well done. 888-368-1580. But yeah, Brock Purdy in his season, he had 4,280 yards, 31 touchdowns. Okay, so that was pretty good. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. And here we are. He's in the Super Bowl. So I just hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't blow it. I hope the moment isn't too big for him. I hope that he doesn't choke. He's a local kid.
Even though it would be a normal thing to do. Like, I don't know if we should hold that against you. Like, because we don't hold it against Elway that like his first 3 Super Bowls were just. I mean, just not.
You know why?
Great.
Because the other games he looked the part.
Yeah,
he played the part,
but that's
and
the thing.
Nobody called him a system quarterback. He didn't have a bad rep going in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I that's the only example I can think of though, where like the first Super Bowls were rough, but you don't get lucky enough to go to 5 usually. So that's the other thing is you try and get this thing done because you're not guaranteed more Super Bowls, and I don't care how easy Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs make it look.
Well, he's making some money along the way, but I'll tell you what, he wins the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to keep him on his $3.7 million deal, right?
His agent is going to sit across the table from John Lynch and company and go, the price just went up.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
Well, he could always sit out. I'm just saying. And that, that might be fair. So here's some things about the Super Bowl. They've got a bazillion cameras. They got cameras everywhere. They got a couple of drones that CBS is going to be operating. They've got cameras on those lines, those lines that go through that give you the Madden look. They got cameras in the stands, cameras on the field, cameras in little pylons. They got cameras everywhere. And now they're putting like 6 cameras on the uprights. The first time ever, they're calling them the Doink cams. And they've got like cameras in a bunch of different positions on the actual uprights for if the camera, oh boy, we're hoping it happens too. And the executives behind this are like, well, we're not trying to force anything, but man, we're going to be high-fiving if a ball hits one of the uprights and the camera gets it. Oh, that's just a dream come true. I don't know how they're doing it. And if they had to put a hole in the uprights or if they just glued one of these little teeny spy camera things. I don't know exactly what technology they're using. Probably the exact same technology that's in those little pylons at the end zone. But the Doink cameras, they're facing in, they're facing out. They've got, they've got it all angles covered on the uprights.
And so they're basically rooting for the worst moment in some kicker's life.
Yeah, it won't be Butker. It'll be Moody. He already had, some missed field goals in a couple of times there. So he's probably the guy that's going to hit a doink or double doink or whatever you want to call it. So, there'll be cameras to catch every humiliating angle.
If my kicker has not seen this news already, specifically Moody, because Butker's been here before and he's already just insanely accurate and all of that. If he hasn't been here before, I'm not letting him know that there are that many cameras. You just can't have him thinking.
He knows. I mean,
it's like
he'll
we're
be
gonna
sitting
see
there
you
looking up
screw
at him going, what are them black square things on there? Because they're not painted yellow. At least they weren't in the pictures we saw.
Oh boy, yeah.
Like maybe they'll paint them yellow for the Super Bowl, but right now you see the big black patches on all these sides of the upright. So he's going to be like, huh.
Yeah, those are the 47 angles we're watching you fail from. Have fun.
Yeah. I just really hope he doesn't have. I feel bad for Brock Purdy if he blows it, but I always feel super bad for a kicker who blows it in a Super Bowl. That is the worst humiliation, I think. It's like, dude, you got the one job and you are 23 yards away from that thing. When they miss a kick, if they miss like a 55-yard kick, you're like, all right, that's fine. You give it a shot. It's all right, man. But if you miss like a 30, 40, and it's like, this is the only thing you do all day is you kick that thing and you miss it in the most important game of our careers as well as yours, man, that's the guy I feel the worst for.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about the Bills, I think at some point last week, and just the kicker that missed it left and then right.
Yep.
Oh my God. That guy has to feel like the worst person felt in Buffalo during that whole run. Like nobody felt worse than him.
I mean, for the rest of your life, you're in the drive-through. I'll have a quesadilla and oh God, because you remember, just all of a sudden it flashes in front of you. Forget it. I don't deserve food, and you drive away. That's all you can do. I feel bad for that guy. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We've got On This Date in Big George's sports history and more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com. The golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines. Availability is limited. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Auto Pacific segmentation, excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2023 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2023 Nissan Rogue. As shown, Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive, 28 city 34 highway. Actual mileage may vary.
It's now even easier to serve on an Arizona jury. If your company doesn't pay for jury service, the court will reimburse your lost wages up to $300 if picked to serve in Superior Court. So next time you see a jury summons in the mail, don't ignore it, or you could face a $500 fine. Remember, our courts are fair because you are there. Learn more at azcourts.gov/jury service. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, I don't think I want more cameras at the Super Bowl. I think I want more microphones. I want to be able to hear more stuff. I want to hear what the coach is saying when he's yelling at a guy. I want to hear what they're saying in the huddle. So, I know you can't do that because then people start, the same thing with the lip readers. Then people are sitting there going, aha, I know their game plan, stuff like that. I don't know if we need more cameras. I don't think that's it. What do we need more of in a Super Bowl?
More of?
Yeah, to make it better, to make the experience even better.
I don't know. I do like your idea of microphones. I always like that sound effects thing that they have after the Super Bowl, where it's not like in the huddle, but it's as much of the game mic'd up as they have from all of the different microphones that they currently have at the Super Bowl.
So they'll release that afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's always pretty interesting. But as far as live stuff, that would be pretty cool. Maybe you don't have to put the game plan, but if there's a drive at the end of the game and it's going to be a huge one and maybe it decides the game, the pep talk aspect of it would be definitely interesting to hear. How does somebody take command of a huddle like that? Especially, how does Mahomes do it versus how would Brock Purdy do it? Because he's in a different situation and a different timeline in the league.
I think what they'll do, though, they'll actually record that and they will show it pre-game sometimes. We've seen it before, but, you can't have it in a time where they might give a pep talk and say, and then when we do this, do that, they're trying to instruct people on how to play. Because then that, you don't want the other side getting that. But
the NBA does it though. Like in the middle of the broadcast, they'll cut out be the coach in the huddle with the team, but they're not playing the part where he's talking about All right. So
well, they don't. That's not live. They'll record it. They'll
Yeah.
play a little chunk of it late at some point in the game.
and that's what I think the NFL can probably do.
So
So
I
you're
don't
not,
know.
So you're not putting that out there, and you're not giving any information away, but letting us have a little peek behind the curtain.
So I wonder what it would take. They used to pretend like they were going to do this virtual reality thing. I know that I don't know if they're doing it or if they would stick a camera, like those special cameras that for the VR, where you sit there with your goggle at home and it's like you're at the game. And you turn, and the camera is going in every single direction. So if you look over that way, it's all real time. So you're like, wow, I'm at the actual game watching the Super Bowl, and you could watch the game that way. But I don't know what happened to that, because they were talking about doing that, and they were going to do that. I think they were going to start with basketball, where you could sit there courtside or something and watch a game, and they were going to charge a little money for that. Oculus was doing something, and then I just never heard another thing about it. But I might pay a couple of bucks if me and my family could sit on the couch with our VR headsets on and actually feel like we're at the actual Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of fun.
I looked it up, and there's stuff from like 2022 is probably some of the most recent stuff. There's
Sounds
not
like they gave up on it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they built on that idea very much.
I don't know. Is there too much danger in people no longer going out to these events and paying the tickets? I mean, if you have to pay, let's say you're like, all right, here's the deal. It's a special deal. It's a Super Bowl. You're going to watch it anyways. You're going to be at home. We've already sold out the stadium. So for an extra $10 a person or an extra $20 a person, you can be at the stadium sitting in a VR seat.
I don't know if there's any danger of that stopping people who want that physical experience to actually still be in the building.
Right. So you can make a lot of money on this.
Yeah. Like VR is not quite being there, but it's a pretty cool way of getting close.
Yeah, it might be better than watching it on the TV. You could have the play-by-play guys still in your ears. And if you want to, you can do a little picture-in-picture thing and see what they're seeing. Or, I mean, really, you don't even need that. You look up at have their stuff on the big, like you're looking up at the scoreboard or stuff. And they're like, take a look at right here. Oh, okay. And you can see all the same stuff you'd see in a regular broadcast. So I don't know. I mean, I thought we were getting there with the technology. I think that'd be kind of a awesome way to watch at home. Of course, everybody's got to have the headsets on, for everybody to enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's expensive.
So maybe it wouldn't be something that everybody could do, but it would be something that maybe some people can do. And then as it gets more affordable, then more of us get a chance. But
yeah, single guys will be able to do this.
Yes,
because they can pay for the $300 goggles and then the $20 thing or whatever. That'd be another way for Sunday ticket, like Sunday VR ticket, where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay $20 and it's like I'm sitting at the Colts game and I can actually look around. I get to hear all the sounds. I get to watch the game. I have the option for the play-by-play. So when stupid Spiro Ditas does it, I can just shut him the hell up. I don't want to hear him ever do a game again, but I don't know. I thought this was going to be something we were going to be doing, and they were working on it, and it just got quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just how some of these ideas go. But they had the equipment for it. Like they had these insanely wide angle lens cameras that they were setting up at the Super Bowl like a couple of years ago, and that was supposed to be the input for whoever had the VR headset on to be able to see things through. And they would just set them up throughout the stadium. So not only could you have a view where you could look around and see everything,
you can move seats.
You could move seats, yeah. And so you'd have, end of the end zone, you'd have midfield. There were different spots that you could access from if you had it. So it was supposed to be really cool. And I agree with you. It would have been cool if they ever would have finished it, which they clearly have not.
Well, I wonder what the hang up is. I wonder why they haven't. I mean, I'm sure somebody's still working on it. You can't just have a great idea and just let it die like that. Wilbur says he loves the microphones idea. He says they got to have it so they can, not filter out all the bad words. Well, listen, if you're paying for access, now remember, the only place the FCC can get you is actual over air. And so just on regular TV, that's where the FCC can get you. On cable, on streaming, on other things, No, this is just they choose to continue to uphold the standard because those are family shows. So if they had a special channel, the unfiltered channel, well, then they could have all that naughty words you might hear. So I don't know. Number one Rattlers fan says, do you know which NFL executive started the lip reading in the 1970s? Notorious bad guy. Notorious bad guy? I don't know.
I don't know either, actually.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us, a Rattlers fan. Don't know who you're alluding to. But there's an actual person that they've decided this is the guy who started having a lip reader steal signs and information. Yeah, I'm curious. Please do tell. Moist One says some people, well, they'll just be looking all around at the stands for the cheerleaders. So just that person's you, Moist One.
Yeah, just you don't have to be subtle about it.
This isn't an upskirt VR, okay?
You will be sitting in the crowd or with the media folks. You're not going to be anywhere near cheerleaders.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, right there, he's absolutely out. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1948, Dick Button of Englewood, New Jersey. And that's right, in roll call, he's Button Dick. A freshman at Harvard University, won the first figure skating gold medal in the United States Olympic history at the St. Moritz Games in Switzerland, wowing the judges with the first double axel ever performed in competition. Back to me, Jeffrey. Did you know that Dick Button is still alive? 94 years old, according to Ralph. I'm sorry, George. Became the premier figure skating commentator on TV. He also invented the flying camel spin, better known as the Button Camel. He's 94 years old. Is he still alive, or is this just a old copy? I was amazed. I was watching this documentary on Jackie Robinson. His wife is still alive, and she's going to be like 102.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He died like in 1970 something. And she just kept on keeping on. Good for her.
No, he's still alive, Dick Button.
Good for him. Good for him. That's impressive. I don't know. Anybody lives past 80, and I'm just like, yes, well done. Hang in there, man. Anybody 80 listening to this show? I'm curious. If you're 80, let me know. I'll check the mail for a postcard. Gamecock says, change my name. No, Gamecock, we're not changing your name. He says, no, I want to be called Dick Button. No, Gamecock. You came in here, Gamecock. You're going to be Gamecock till the end. You don't have a compelling reason to change your text or nickname. So that's it.
You're a South Carolina sports fan. That should be enough.
I get it. We all appreciate Dick Button. But no, can't do that. Can't do that. I just won't. I can't. It's not just I won't. I can't. No, wait. It's not that I can't. I won't. You're a Gamecock. That's it. By the way, are you getting ready to make any bets in the Super Bowl? Do you have your eye on any lines? Have you already made some bets? Just curious.
I did already bet on the Chiefs because they're to cover. Right. Because just the idea of them being underdogs is silly to me.
Or getting blown out.
Yeah, just like, it's one of those, they have so much experience being here. They've been underdogs every step of the way in the playoffs. And they've basically proven everybody wrong along the way. So even if they don't win, if they could just cover the, I got them at 2.5. If they can cover that, I'm good. That's all I've done. I don't get into a lot of the other bets. I'm not great at them. Just seems like a really great way to lose money.
Do you try the prop bets?
No, not really. Every now and then I do the Gatorade one because that one's always fun, but that's about it.
I am pretty sure the equipment manager is always making bank off that.
Yeah.
Be like, well, I'm going to go with the orange. Excuse me, I got to go make a bet right now on the orange. After that, everybody else, it's your guess as good as mine. I don't know. Coin toss. Like that one guy put a giant bet on that for $100,000.
And by the way, the coin toss, I forget exactly what the odds were, but the actual betting odds weren't like 50-50.
Yeah.
So you're losing money on a 50-50 bet.
Well, I mean, he bet $100,000 with a chance to win $95,000. So he put the 100 in. If he wins, he'll get $95,000. It wasn't a straight back and forth bet. No, you're not losing money, but you think on a 50-50 bet, right? Whatever. So I'll tell you what, tomorrow we will talk more about the betting involved. There's been some big bets made already, aside from Keon's $2 bet on the Chiefs to cover. We're going to talk about some $1 million bets, some big ass bets, some Drake-sized bets. And we'll talk about that and a whole lot of other stuff too. Never got around to all the regular football stuff that was happening. We'll probably do that tomorrow too. So, and then hopefully we can figure out what the hell's going on with Randy and his equipment and have a normal show tomorrow. So everybody have a great night. And I don't know that there's any sports happening tonight, but if there is, enjoy it. And we'll see you here tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Bye-bye.